Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Air Doctor, and yes, we are here to bring you that funky, fresh, boom back breakfast. And yo, you know I can't do it alone. Black Liberation Media's own Dr. Jared Ball and Geechee, Curtis Duncan.
What's up, fellas? What's up, world? What's up, remixers?
What's happening?
What was that? You had some. No, I like the boom bap. You had some like Michael Jackson-esque thing playing in the warm up.
Oh yeah, cause I knew it was gonna be boom bap, so I had to bring up. Come out, Cake Frank.
True, always that with the boom bap.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the golden era of hip hop, the only era of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Kumar, was that an Angela Rye bar just now? Always that with boom bap?
Yo,
Angela.
Yeah, you don't even want to.
I don't even know.
No, we're gonna play it. We're gonna. I think we should play it. And I just feel like, well, I mean, if I gotta suffer, I don't know why everybody else don't have to.
I think Air Doctor has to judge those bars since he's the music.
I'm just glad I wasn't Jadakiss that had to be there watching it the whole time and being like, yeah. That's
but he
dope.
was proud of it. He seemed like he and then
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody's back there. I told you, Rhapsody, and I told you, Ninth Wonder. I told you back in the day, you got to put the politics in the bars. You can't just reference Betty Shabazz and not have any Malcolm politics. And they got at me on Twitter, and then here they come supporting this. I rest my case. I
knew you were right whenever the
I knew
argument.
exactly.
They can always say, at least he's trying, you know.
No, her and Common used to go together. So if Common never broke up with her, then they would have been all right.
Common went with everybody, didn't he?
Common went with who?
Hip hop.
With Angela Rye.
Angela Rye. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Common's been.
Maybe I thought so. Maybe I was wrong.
No, you're right. Common's been around the world and yeah.
I know.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. No, the beef. It wasn't a beef. It was that track. This is some years ago when Rhapsody did a track called Betty Shabazz, an ode to Betty Shabazz. It was subtitled, and I listened to it, and there was none of the politics were in it, and so I just said this is a good track, but there's no politics in it, and then she and Ninth Wonder got all upset and defensive and said, you know, even a reference is a good thing.
Oh, really?
In fact, Ninth Wonder said, yeah, he got specific. I do remember. Do you remember? So Tribe Called Quest had the track subtitled Biko. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Ear Doctor, I'm hearing all that feedback, man. My bad, man. I'm hearing it. I'm just hearing myself. Does anybody else hear it? Am I the only one?
No, you sound great to us.
No, but him. I hear the feedback coming out of his headset.
Nah, you just got them ultra headsets, bro.
Oh, that's wild.
Okay. Yeah, Curtis, you didn't get the microphone?
I did. Can y'all hear me?
He just hasn't talked yet.
Oh, my bad.
You know, you've been dominating the conversation, Kamal, as usual. So
that's what I'm here for, though. That's what I'm here for.
You know, I didn't want to
Word.
go against the boss.
But Jared, go ahead and finish that statement because I think that's the typical argument from artists when they say all I have to do is just mention it and
She
then
had a
just
whole
a reference.
album called Eve that just mentioned different people. Oprah, Serena, her whole album. Her whole album was named after different women.
And that's the problem.
Praised Oprah. I rest my case. So
Yeah,
you doing
that's
it. You
the
can't
problem.
ode to Betty Shabazz and Oprah. But that was the point. He said back in the day when Tribe Called Quest did the song subtitled Biko, that introduced him to Steve Biko, and he studied Steve Biko. And I said, I won't call you a liar, wasn't my point, but I just don't believe that happens very often. And I don't believe him, by the way. But we all listen to the track, right? Who
according to that book,
Biko?
What's the white boy who wrote Biko book? Donald
Woods, Cry Freedom.
I mean, he maybe studied that. He probably watched the film. I mean, Denzel.
Yeah, they killed Denzel.
And it's one thing about learning about somebody. It's another thing about learning the right thing about somebody. You can just say you know somebody's name and then start misapplying shit because you done read bad things in the first place. If you read anything.
I would not take no Rhapsody slander on this channel, yo.
It's not slander. It was just saying it's if you're going to call it an ode to Betty Shabazz, there should be some Betty-esque politics in there. There was literally nothing about Betty. I think she mentions Malcolm passingly in just to rhyme something, but there's nothing about the politics or the history. It's just she's rhyming and bragging about herself and said this is a tribute to Betty Shabazz. And I'm like,
I mentioned her name.
I mentioned her name. All right, So that's
Betty
it.
Shabazz give her a tumble from heaven. I don't want that shit.
And this is how you tumble down to doing a track with Angela Rye that they were like in the studio like, yeah.
So
who got the link to it though? We got to play it though.
At least they don't got. I can send it to you, but at least they don't have No Name on there. I thought that was No Name at first, but that was Rhapsody. So,
you think No Name would go out like that?
No, that's what I was worried about. I was like, I know that's not No Name on this, but it was Rhapsody. So,
whatever happened to her? I feel like she abandoned us.
No, she
did abandon us. She promised to do a show, and then she never. She disappeared. She ghosted me. I went to. And then, but she came. I did see that when her last album came out, and I read that very interesting interview she did in one of these big time magazines. And it was she kind of suggested I'm stepping back from politics, and look at Ricky redacting. What did you have to redact, Ricky? She did. She promised to do a show, and then she stopped answering my texts. I mean, that was it. It's not.
Y'all was about to mess up her bag, bro.
That Rhapsody also has songs called Nina and she has about Asada. She has some other songs on there.
Yeah. And Jada got Why.
Rhapsody. Y'all gotta hear her album Eve. It was very good. Very good.
Is she rhyming about Asada, or she just put Asada on the title of a track next to Oprah?
She got a song called Afeni. She got songs representing. So then maybe you might go look them up afterwards. After you be like, who was this person?
So again, that's the myth, right? Because because people do say that. They say if the artist just mentioned the name, people are gonna go look it up.
This go back to the whole Malcolm X movie. Some people got enlightened to go look and learn about Malcolm X because of the movie.
No,
some people. How are you in everybody's house where you know where they didn't start learning about Malcolm X due to that movie coming out?
Hiram claims that he got political, or he found. I think that's what he said. I mean, that's why his politics is so bad.
Damn.
And that's what the basis of his learning about Malcolm and shit. So
I told Hiram. He told me that
he would step across the line.
Across the line, son.
Get you a line stepper, man.
Damn.
But I told Hiram that I said that wasn't the movie. That was you. You were already predisposed to that. And that's fine. He could be the exception to the rule. There's just I don't believe that there was some mass exodus into the study of Malcolm, because the world would be different.
What about even with the African patches, the Malcolm X patches back in the day? People started being like, okay, well,
that's marketing. Sales and marketing.
It worked. Some people started learning.
No, that's what the movie was there to negate. See, that's the whole point. That was the history. The people had already started to popularize Malcolm again. The people in hip hop, early hip hop included, started to repopularize Malcolm. And then they said, no, we can't. We got to put a lid on that. Get Spike. That's what they did. I'm trying to tell you.
No, I
When
mean,
I get the audio, when I
Curtis,
get
wait a minute, Curtis. What you
go ahead,
think
Curtis.
about
Go
this?
ahead.
that's
Go
a
ahead,
good
Curtis.
argument.
So can everyone hear me
Yeah.
good? Because I'm okay. All right. Cool. So I remember seeing Malcolm X. Because I was young and I grew up in a
free zone.
white suburb outside of Philly, and and I remember coming out the movie like, why did Malcolm hate white people? So I mean, and then when I was 17, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and that kind of set me on my path to where I am today. I remember I was like the only person in my high school reading that, and I had moved to Atlanta by then, and there folks, I was like 17, and folks were like, "Man, what you reading?" I'm like, "I'm reading autobiography of Malcolm X." Like, okay, all right. I was like weird for reading that shit when I was in high school, and I mean, that's what really politicized me, not the movie.
Okay.
Now I gotta give him a new computer.
Oh my goodness.
So you gotta buy him some internet now.
All right, we go.
Wait, is Jared froze too?
No,
Jared's just there.
I'm
No.
just looking at the big screen. Yeah,
But I
go
think
ahead.
it's a good argument to say that by the time the people start talking about something, the state or the entertainment industry has to come and reimagine how people consider that person. That's a better argument than saying that these movies are radicalizing people. That's like saying like the U.S. will help radicalize the population against itself. And that's not gonna happen at all.
it's certain people I would say I wouldn't learn about unless I didn't see the movie. Because some people don't read books. Some people don't know nothing about history.
About them, though.
So
You're not learning about those people in the movie.
You're not.
I've learned about some certain people after I've seen things. I'm just saying.
Maybe their
Not
name.
everybody.
I'm saying that's the thing. The version you get of
there are
them.
a few people who dig deep because they've seen something.
Of course, there's always
but I don't think that like, I agree that I don't think that's the reason, one, they do these films, and two, it is to reposition these people in ways that make them either softer, convoluted. And when they do complicated, that means trying to bring out what they consider to be sort of negative characteristics. So these movies do play, and misrepresentation of politics, most importantly. So, I think there's, some people do get something out of them, of course, but usually they go like, those are the same people that you wind up debating years later about what was Malcolm's legacy. Because was on the Spike Lee movie, and so
you remember when
Obama, You
remember Fred Hampton Jr. said that he had to punch through a wall because Shaka King kept changing some things that they wanted to represent in Judas and the Black Messiah, and even Shaka King said that a lot of the stuff they had to leave out because they had to dramatize the film to make it more palatable for the audience. So the audience going to remember some of the fly shit and the guns and all the other stuff as opposed to the politics.
I am on record, off the record, with people who were associated at an early stage with that film, where I told them, don't support the film because you're going to be mad at the association after the fact. And the complaining about the film after you co-sign the film is not going to work. It would be better to be standing away from it from jump so that you could have more of so your criticism would have more value. But don't nobody care about what
Wait a minute now. If it wasn't for the Fred Hampton film, we would not have gotten the Fred Hampton leftists. So
no.
Lord have mercy.
No, there it is. Now I'm gonna have to suffer through another 3-hour live stream where Jared's a whole bunch of F words and mother effers and whole bunch of. I didn't even do nothing.
My bad.
You know what this sounds like? People that read the book and then go see the movie and they mad because they left out this, they left out this, they left out this. You can't fit it all in a movie.
No, definitely, you're definitely right. That's part of it.
You make it all an introduction.
That's what I'm saying. So it's an introduction for some people.
Bro,
to be like, okay, well, let me go read the book now.
That's all the arguments that people make when they say I couldn't fit it all. Well, you can fit you're creative. You can create around those particular politics to tell a story. So for instance, The Spook That Sat Behind the Door, was that a long ass movie or a short movie? Could they fit the politics in the movie?
What movie?
The scoop that's happening.
You never saw the Scoop,
I'm
B?
trying. Yeah, I've seen it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember the movie as in
Yeah.
bit by bit. I mean, I didn't read the book, so I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't think nobody. I mean, for most of us, none of us read the book first on that one. We were all, I think the movie was the first.
Oh, definitely not first. Yeah, I'm trying.
So it was an introduction to let me read the book now, huh?
But I heard somebody in the chat said it was like an exception, and that was probably an exception, relatively speaking. That was like a good revolution. In fact, they tried to ban it because it was.
Remember, he filmed it illegally. He didn't have any permits. They guerrilla shot it in Chicago. He didn't have. I mean, it wasn't like it didn't have promotional budgets and opened in 3,000 theaters and all that kind of stuff. It didn't do any of that. That
Tell him, man.
Yeah, Doctor
speak for the everyday
every
man.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
You want to be with Mr. Server?
But I think that's
Big shout out.
Big shout out. He's serving the world. That's what we do.
I got Angela Rye bars in the chat, by the way. So when y'all ready,
Let's hear her bars speak.
These
hot fire.
Man. Angela Rye. This is the Spike Lee of rap.
Stop.
Hey, kiss. I know you do this for a living, so be gracious. But I know you're gonna be honest.
Nah, I got you. I understand.
Talk to her like you on CNN, give that motherfucker business.
Wow.
I'm good at bringing truth. It ain't no different now. Black women magic over 40,000. Double down. We want that Prezi spot in equity. Ceasefire expeditiously. Native Land, that's the podcast where I get on mics and I pop at. Love blackness community. They fear that when it's you and me. Opportunity, they don't want that. DEI, they don't want that. But one thing about black people power, like hey Lamar, we come right back, make history. I'ma talk my talk till they sick of me. Okay. UNITY, you know me, my name A-Rye. You know me and how I ride. I get down for all of my black beauty, black pride. Everything we do abide. In a cipher going live, like an ocean ID died. We want systemic change. We don't want no cap. Unless it come with shimmies and a cane, that's a fact. So we stepping in the booth and making history. Tell that couch Kamala Harris for this democracy. Go vote.
All right, I know what happened.
That is
he wrote the rhyme.
No.
And Rhapsody got.
Don't you do that. Don't you dare do that.
So one of them wrote the rhyme. One of them wrote the rhyme. Y'all know one of them wrote that rhyme.
Don't
Stop
you
playing.
dare.
That's why Jada was like, when she said pop, he was like pop. He was like, that's how you flow it. So either they helped her write the rhyme, the flow, or something.
And you know why she's doing all this? She's doing all this because of the backlash she got a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's the only reason she's out now. She said black 400 times.
She got eaten by a white lady, so
she's firing it up all of a sudden.
She dropped ceasefire. I heard that.
She's all about the black change and all that kind of stuff. That's because she got slammed over the head, and now she's trying to reestablish some black credentials.
Is she dating a Kappa? Is that I'm assuming the reference was to the Kappas? Shimmies
What,
and
she
the
said no
cane?
cap?
No cap unless they got shimmies and a cane. Wasn't that?
So
that wasn't Kappas.
So no, you're old. No
Oh,
cap.
my bad.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
No, I know.
that
No,
was
no,
a
no.
Kappa reference.
Hold
That was
on.
a Kappa reference.
It is not
Hold
a
on.
Kappa reference.
Come out, catch up.
She said no lie.
She said,
It was a
"Don't
Kappa
we want
reference.
no cap unless it comes with shimmies and a cane."
Shimmies and a cane.
Come on, you're the old one, correct?
You
I am
keep
the
up.
old one. I'm the old one. My bad.
HBCUs,
My
That was
baby.
clever.
My bad.
You know,
I'm
but
back off. I'm back off.
Kamau don't like Greeks, so Kamau thinks Greeks are weak. You know what I mean? So
I don't like
Wait a
that.
minute, Curtis, you a Greek? A black Greek?
nah. I didn't play.
He's like, nah.
A lot of my family were Omegas. Nah, I wasn't finna get my ass whooped to be a part of the organization. That was like, man, this is slavery. I'm good on that.
Oh, the violence
Ooh,
in the
the
chat.
hate.
Kappas
Oh,
are lame.
Lord
Bunch
have
of
mercy.
pretty boys. Oh my god.
Hey, Mark Lamont Hill better not see that. He gonna come on our platform again. And
Wait a minute, that's not the one that was dating Kaepernick, though, right?
I honestly don't know.
Angela Rye.
No,
I mean, Angela Rye,
no.
she wasn't dating Kaepernick.
No, she
No.
wasn't dating Kaepernick.
Wasn't he
No,
dating some other light-skinned radio disc jockey?
No, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not good.
Kaepernick's lady is Egyptian.
All
Or
right.
as Umar says, a snow bunny.
Without being a Kappa or capping, Air Doctor, rate the bars. Let's go.
Oh, the bars. I mean, 1 to 10, I give her a 4.5.
What about on flow?
Huh?
What about
Tempo.
Flow was
Hate
terrible.
it.
Flow was terrible. Flow was terrible. I mean, you could tell she's a rookie.
Yeah.
So
Wait, who was Kaepernick dating?
Dating an Egyptian woman.
But she was a radio disc jockey too.
She was an actress, I think, something like that. I don't know if she was a radio person, but
Yeah, she was. She was on radio in L.A.
Okay,
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same person. Especially
that's not Angela Rye, bro.
No, that's not
Don't do
Angela.
that.
It's almost they look almost like
We
like
about to get in
twins.
trouble already.
They look like twins, B.
Nissa.
Everybody's saying Nisa. Or
Yeah,
Nessa.
an Egyptian and a
Come on.
black woman.
They just about the same person.
Know your rights, bro. Chill out.
they about the same person. You stupid.
So I said this is why hip hop is dead because true.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, should we? Do
I
we
guess we go
slap
ahead
the
and-
map
we
on
go-
Fridays, or what happens?
Well, yeah. Well,
We get a break.
we're gonna do a break. I'll be here till 9.
I'm out like I'm tired. I put in 10 straight minutes of work.
Get your weight up,
Right?
Kamal.
This guy.
Bathroom breaks in this bitch. What's going
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man.
Get you some coffee. You'll be all
You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's
Oh,
part of the
man.
problem. That's why we need a break.
That's why we need to break. Word.
All right.
And
Yeah,
don't do one of these 20-second quick joints either, man.
Yeah,
You
my man.
understand?
Yeah,
Put
it was a
some-
good
put some
one.
effort
He's gonna
into
do a
it,
full
man.
set.
niggas
I'm over
ain't
here.
just
Ain't
started,
Ain't nobody
man.
die for you to do
You know
a
what I'm saying?
retrospective on.
You got us
Gosh.
running back with the toilet paper stuck to our shoe and all types. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's see what we can do
Get a
here.
retrospective going. I'm sure somebody
All right,
famous
yeah,
and black
yeah,
then
yeah.
died.
Oh, damn.
With that said, y'all need a mental health break right here on the Remix Morning Show. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me give y'all a little remix on the Remix Morning Show right here on Black Liberation Media. Let's do it like this.
It's simple. I love it. Having you near me, having you here. Our conversation, outrageous. You smile, and I smile when I say, "Ooh, this is getting personal, personal, personal." Let's stay for a while and play. Girl, let's make this a moment. Oh, giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, having you close to me. Amazing, outrageous.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to 1991 off that Deep Cover album. Name of the song is 187. Talking about Snoop D-O-double-G. We got that mixed with a little bit of 2011. We talking about Anthony Hamilton off that album Back to Love. The name of that song is Best of Me. Yeah, and that's what it is. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And also go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see, oh, you can't see, but now you can. Go to our website, blkliberationmedia.org. Donate over there, because we are demonetized, and that would definitely take care of making sure that Curtis has a microphone. All right, now let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
So Lizzie and Flizzy with D-O-double-Dizzy, the fly human being, seeing no, I'm not European, being all I can. When I put the motherfucking mic in my hand,
Yeah.
I got the mic, ear doctor.
I know, I'm just fucking.
Hey, thanks for redeeming the Carolinas, man, because Rhapsody messed it up for us, and you had to bring Anthony Hamilton back, though.
You are bugging with Rhapsody messing it up for us, man. Y'all
I'm talking
really...
about for that clip. That clip, she messed it up for the Carolinas.
Okay.
Charlamagne messed it up for the Carolinas a couple months ago when with the Jill Stein. So Anthony brought us back.
Big up to the Hamiltons and Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah,
And, that track right there, deep cover track.
That's good.
Oof, hard body. All right, so I'll let y'all go ahead and get to it. And like I said, I'll be out here at 9, so close the shop up and all that.
Oh wow.
Just bounced.
Just bounce. Well, can we can you slap the map though? All right, welcome back, everybody. Remix Morning Show, Black Liberation Media. Curtis Duncan, Jared Ball, Geechee Y'all, Kamal Franklin, Ear Doctor in the back, Erica Brown, the future Dr. Erica Brown on the run sheet. And the remixers, please do like, share, subscribe, put this in your socials, tag Black Liberation Media. Let us know that you're out there. And support our Patreon, blackliberationmedia.org as well, for all the information you need on every show and ways to support as well. All right, where do we want to go, fellas? I will say I am quickly looking up this Eve album, and it's just like a collage of shout outs to like every form of Black woman.
Oh,
and I just Nina Simone. I'm assuming that's
Whoopi.
I hope that's not Miss Cleo.
That's Cleo from the movie Set It Off.
Whoopi,
Oprah, Whoopi,
wow.
Serena, Tyra,
Michelle Obama.
Maya.
She got D'Angelo on here though.
Why is she gonna have Elle Varner doing Michelle? Come on.
Who's Maya? Maya who? Maya Angelou. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
No, the other Maya.
Angelou.
The
other Maya had a chef suit.
The vegan Maya.
Ibi Taj. I don't know who this is. Who is Ibi Taj?
I believe she's a Muslim sister that wins in jousting. I don't know. I'm sorry.
How do you know everything? Sojourner Truth.
Iman, Sojourner Truth.
PJ Morton.
It's just it's a lot of good references. It's just a lot of different politics represented there. A lot of names, and Oprah just ruins it. Just ruins. But all right, okay.
I mean, since we on music, I was gonna try to save the surprise. So Jared went from F the Police to Crank with the Police.
Oh,
oh no! I don't know why. Why is this being put on me?
Is this the truth come out? Geechee, spill the beans.
My bad. Listen, so in Kentucky, you still could be arrested for having ice cream in your pocket, right? So you have ice cream in your pocket. That's how they used to steal horses back in the day. So right now, as a Black man, if you go to Kentucky, you have ice cream in your pocket, you can go to jail. But Jared is in the pocket with DC police.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Listen, let's pull it up. Pull a link up, Jared. Don't wow me.
Oh, now you want me to pull the link up on that? You don't have to put a link up on that. I don't need to
disparage me. And
you saying I'm in the pocket with the police and I got to push play on top of it?
Which one is it? Which one is it? Instagram?
Which one is it?
He don't live in DC though. So how? I mean,
I'm not even in DC.
In the pocket of Maryland.
Nah, man. Listen, pull the link up, Jared. Stop playing.
I'm saying, which link is it though?
Erica got it in the run sheet. The thoughts on MPD Go Band.
Oh man,
pull it up, man.
Oof.
Oh man, I saw this. This is the worst kind of. Wait, all of these links in here are the same. You're sending all the same. You sent Angela Rye twice.
No, man.
He said not the private chat. Not in the private chat.
I'll pull it up. I got you, man.
Yeah, I don't understand. Again, you have all the access.
You have all the access. And you don't pull it out. Pull it up.
I'm saying he always just wants somebody else to push the button. Oh my god.
Oh no! Come on now.
We hold on. We've evolved.
Phrasing.
Ear Doctor dragging us backwards. All right, I got it. I got it. I saw this. This is the worst kind of.
Hell no. Oh no.
And it's trifling because my head starts nodding by accident.
Is that Jared dancing in the back?
Now that's messed up.
I said I'm sorry, girl, but what's the vacancy?
Y'all said anybody can do this go-go stuff.
Hell no.
It's a whole cop band. I didn't even notice the ones in the back.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
It's
And Jerry, don't act like you don't like the way he hit the drums either.
Nah, he's
I
doing
do.
horrible.
That's the problem. The pocket. I don't mind the pocket. The groove is all right. That's what I'm saying makes it worse.
Oh my god.
Are they in Southeast?
I
Southeast
don't know.
DC?
I think he's citywide. Because so the dude who's I guess he's known for a whole bunch of things, like including he be the Santa Claus. When the kids need the Santa Claus, and he's like over the youth division of in DC. So all the type of events he be doing, Santa Claus, he be doing give backs. But they have a band too, where they're in the pocket. This him right here in the corner, but then they got a whole bunch of people, and I think this is the sister who was singing. But yeah,
horrible.
So basically, it's a propaganda.
Like PG County Police.
It's a propaganda outfit.
Yeah, they trying to so I mean all of us know that these youth diversion programs and the rebuilding the relationship with the cops they don't work. But in this particular thing, pulling on that go-go, being in the pocket, as Jerry said, even he's nodding his head to that.
A lot of those youth diversion programs are allegedly grooming programs where a lot of cops will meet young girls and then traffic them or assault them. So I think Washington Post did an article about that called "Abused by the Badge." So kind of put that in. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's the reason why cops are in our schools, so they can.
Plus, they be getting intel too, so they be talking to the kids and interrogating them and learning things about their brothers and sisters and dads and stuff. So it's a whole lot of wild shit in there. But I mean, we're in the pocket, so Jared.
That
was terrible. That's. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Curtis. Go ahead.
No, I was saying Go-Go's revolutionary. I want to see Mama's biscuits.
I'm trying to tell you, we would have never participated in such. This is just, there were a couple articles in June of this year from the Washington Post that were talking about what Curtis was referencing. That's
the abuse.
One of them there. The cops, again, like the late John Judge used to say, you can't have organized crime without organized police. So they are there creating as much of the problems as they're there to solve. And yeah, so that's, oh man, that's just so abusive. It's
just there. I mean, it's just propaganda. And I don't know what the crowd looked like, so I can't even suggest if it was well done propaganda. But it's this thing. It's all that humanizing stuff. It's like, oh, look, we're like part of the community and shit. Who, again, at a moment's notice, will be called out to arrest you, kill
at
your
the
fam,
go-go,
or at the club, or at the club. Yeah. So, yeah. I got somebody also talked about the Obama thing. Y'all heard about Obama?
So new Obama hate? No, please, I'm here for it though.
Obama's tripping.
Obama's talking about black men again.
Oh, stop playing.
Yeah. So let me see.
Did I miss that? I hate when I miss Obama's.
Apparently, it just happened. He went to stump for Harris, and I think maybe on a couple of occasions, but apparently at her campaign headquarters, he did a little speech. And although I haven't heard it yet, the part of the intro to this was. They said he might have gotten a little too personal because he basically said that Kamala was underperforming him with black voters, but then he took a dig at black men. So let me see if this gets that.
Makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Oh my God.
You come up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. So now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down.
What the fuck is he talking about?
That's not acceptable.
Keep making
CNN
it up
political
as you go.
commentator Errol Lewis is in our fifth.
So
He's
You couldn't even see the audience. Like, was there men in the audience? I mean, I couldn't.
Yeah, there was men in the audience.
I
They were
thought,
sitting down. And I think he was in Pittsburgh.
mhm.
But I mean, it just kind of goes back. I remember in 2008. When he, right after all the Farakhan controversy was going on, he had to come up there and say, "Yeah, black men are bad fathers," as a way of kind of showing the white folks, he's not going to be, he's not, he's for them, not for us, not for black folks. It's just, it's a really white supremacist narrative that all these black men, are going to be supporting Trump. I think in the 2020 election, like 86% of black men, even with Biden's all problematic record, supported Biden. I think 94% of black women supported Biden. So usually when it comes to the black community, it's always, it's pretty, at least when it comes to voting, it's pretty much the same. It's not that big of a gap. But he just had to go with the, typical anti-black narrative of all these black men supporting Trump and this, that.
Come on, I didn't understand he said you don't want to vote for her because she denigrated you. Like, what?
No, he was saying, how would you want to vote for Trump when he's denigrated you? He has the track record of the one you want to vote for is the one has a track record of denigrating you, as if she has not had first of all, she has no track record at all, other than being a top cop in California. So as it relates to black people nationally, she has no track record. Nobody voted for her. And he did the same thing in 2012 when he did less well after the second. He and Michelle did a whole bunch of it's black people's fault. You're not coming out. And then when Hillary lost, they ramped that up even more. Mm-hmm. And we're like, you all didn't support. And now they're coming back to say, oh, because black men hate women so much, they would rather vote for Trump.
It's the new narrative. And let me get some other quotes out here. So he also said, my understanding based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities is that we have not yet seen the same kind of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities, like our neighborhoods. You don't live in black. And as we saw when I was running, he said. And then he says the lack of enthusiasm from Harris, he said, seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. And then he said he chided voters who were voting for Trump or not casting a vote at all. And this is quotes. And if you are thinking about sitting out, he said, part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. You're coming up with other alternatives for other reasons for that. And Obama said, women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. When we get in trouble and the system isn't working for us, they're the ones out there marching and protesting because, we never do that. And lastly, it says addressing voters who are on the fence. He said the decision between Harris and former Trump should be clear. On the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Adding that Harris, who is Black and Asian American, is focused on policy that will benefit Black communities, such as affordable housing and healthcare. And on the other side, you have someone who has constantly or consistently shown disregard, not just for our communities, but for you as a person.
He had to throw the line in there about going to college with you, because other than where else was she? What Black community or Black man's back did she have? I know the contradiction of me being the one saying this and making reference to this point in particular, but I mean, my goodness, this whole thing of, she's had your back. When I guess it had to have been at Howard, because when else would it have been? How long she been married to whatever. I mean, I'm just saying. So like, so they're concocting this whole, but I pulled something up real quick. If we could be fair, we got to be fair to Barry. Remember what Barry had to go through to get there. All right. This is the moment I think Curtis, or one of them that Curtis was talking about.
To unexpected developments. On Sunday, the headline in your hometown paper, Chicago Tribune, Louis Farakhan backs Obama for president at Nation of Islam convention in Chicago. Do you accept the support of Louis Farrakhan.
You know, I have been very clear in my denunciation of Minister Farakhan's anti-Semitic comments. I think they are unacceptable and reprehensible. I did not solicit this support. He expressed pride in an African American who seems to be bringing the country together. I obviously can't censor him, but it is not support that I sought, and we're not doing anything, I assure you, formally or informally with Minister Farakhan.
Do you reject his support?
Well, Tim,
keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
Yeah, we'll let it go.
Say to somebody that he can't say that he thinks I'm a good guy. You know, I have been very clear in my denunciations of him and his past statements, and I think that indicates to the American people what my stance is on those comments.
The problem some voters may have is, as you know, Reverend Farrakhan called Judaism gutter religion.
Tim, I think I am very familiar with his record, as are the American people. That's why I have consistently denounced it. This is not something new. This is something that I live in Chicago. He lives in Chicago. I've been very clear in terms of me believing that what he has said is reprehensible and inappropriate, and I have consistently distancing myself from him.
The title of one of your books, Audacity of Hope, you acknowledge you got from a sermon from Reverend Jeremiah Wright, the head of the Trinity United Church. He said that Louis Farrakhan epitomizes greatness. He said that he went to Libya in 1984 with Louis Farrakhan to visit with Muammar Gaddafi.
He's like,
And that when your political opponents found out about that, quote, your Jewish support would dry up quicker than a snowball in.
Oh man! So I wanted.
Isn't there a part in there too when Hillary tries to jump in?
Yeah, that was what I thought.
I denounce.
Yeah, she was like, "But do you denounce?" She makes him come back in at some point. I thought that was in there too. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do
but
you denounce Hamas?
Exactly. Look what Barry had to go through to get there. Ease up on Barry.
Now $70 million later, and he's still blaming black men.
There is an article I posted in the chat that I feel like kind of ties into this. I don't know if we can bring it. It's an archive article. I posted it in the very beginning. I don't know if someone can bring that up.
Is it this one? No.
No. It's the one before that. It says archive because it was.
I think I might have it.
Article. I got it. I got it. Yeah.
So this was I can't, Kamal, you want to read it or?
Oh, it says, is the Trump campaign male-dominated culture losing women votes? The campaign views men as Trump's path to victory, and many staffers talk like it.
And this,
I don't know why they say that though, because he gets the majority of white women votes all the time. Like when he ran, he got the majority of white women votes on both occasions. And on this third occasion, you know what he's going to get the majority of? White women votes. So these fake narratives that they be putting out here, like just to drum this stuff up, is like, well, you're not actually looking at your own poll results or your own election results. He consistently gets the majority of white women votes, no matter what they say around where white folks are voting in terms of their liberalism and the rest of it. I don't care if it's in the South. I don't care if it's in the East. I don't care if it's in the West. That's what he's getting.
But the article was interesting to me because, like, it was basically talking about how, there's like a narrative, and I think the Daily Show did a little funny skit about this last night about how you're not a real man if you want to vote for Kamala. You're a beta male. So like a lot of the talking points you hear, like from figures like Umar Johnson. I'm a real. We're my strong African alpha males. So there's like a lot of this kind of manosphere type rhetoric that he's kind of running with, which I found interesting because for me, Obama mentioned this, but I feel like the Republicans are kind of tapping into that of like appealing to masculinity, which for some black men that resonates with them. I'm gonna I don't want to support. I'm not a cuck. Cuck is a word I guess for a man who like watches his wife get. Watches another man have sex with his wife. So they're using like a lot of this kind of like really toxic to me manosphere type language to appeal to white men primarily. But because a lot of black men, kind of get into all that manosphere bullshit. It resonates with some brothers. So I just found it interesting that, that language is being used. Because Tariq, Umar, a lot of these brothers out here, they're using all this alpha male, beta male, and it's like a lot of strong homophobia. So I don't know. I feel like Republicans have really kind of tapped into something with that.
I'm not clear to what extent that is working within the black community or among black male voters. So I admit that out the gate. I'm not up on any of the details on that. But I am still confident in saying that for whatever the failures are among certain segments of black men falling into the manosphere, the reason anybody would not, black or otherwise, would not be voting or excited to vote for Kamala has more to do with the party and their politics and what has not been done. So I do admit a discomfort at the idea that the Democrats are worthy of support, and it's retrograde manhood and toxic masculinity that's holding black people back. Because as I was aware, to Kamal's point, again, I don't know to what extent this is working in the black community, but white women had no problem, apparently, with Trump's rhetoric. So yeah, I would just hate to see, because I'm gonna have to look some of this up. What's the data on the extent to which black men are
Well, I'll say too, like, I think,
but yeah, I did watch. Tyson, the last episode of Cam and Mace that I've watched, because I basically, I guess I've gone on a little boycott, was when they all three sat there with Cam, Mace, and Tyson talking about how they're all voting for Trump.
Ooh.
Yeah. I did say, I was like, all right, now I think.
No, I think there probably is somewhat of a little drop off. Yeah. But when you look at these polls consistently, or you look at the election results consistently, and it's going to be true this time too, the top Democratic support comes from black women. That's undoubtedly true. Absolutely. But you know who number 2 is? Black men. Mm-hmm. So for all the focus to be on black men, for these politicians, and again, I think the media likes this and eats this up anyway because it shows some separation or whatever. But I bet you, if you look for these articles, there's more articles from corporate media on black men supporting Trump or black men dropping off and all the rest of it. Then there are all together articles about white people in the majority voting for Trump. Like, I don't see those same headlines that bring out the clear facts that Trump's white supremacist position appeals most to white voters who have then gone on and voted for Trump over and over again. Just as they've historically now, since the 60s, voted for Republicans because they're the harder white supremacist party. Not that they're the exclusive white supremacist party, but they are the more overt white supremacist party. And white folks are basically like, in general, why would I vote for white supremacy light when I clearly have some hard-hitting white supremacy right here for me? So even when Democrats have won,
you have David Duke.
Yeah, exactly. So even when Democrats have won, I think the last time a white Democrat or a Democrat got the majority of the white vote was Clinton. And that was an anomaly. Other than that, no matter who's won the White House, the majority of white folks since the 1960s have always voted Republican. In fact, they voted hard white supremacy because that's their preference.
Yeah, I think Gerald Horne, when he always does interviews. We talked about class collaboration, and I guess in reference to the white working class, and he was like, yeah, like 1992, David Duke got like I think like almost like a third of the Euro-American vote, across all class lines. I'm like, so when stuff like that, I'm like, damn, David Duke. I remember
it just a third. I thought he got more than that.
No, he might have gotten like close to 50%, but he, but his point was that like white people, they're very much race first, when it comes to, they're not into all this class first stuff, and they vote for white supremacy. I think was his overall point.
Yeah, Yeah. Well. All right, fellas. So we got a few. Oh, in fact, well, speaking of black men resisting white supremacy, I'll leave it that way. I got stuck there.
Shout out to Trenton.
Trenton, New Jersey in the building. Y'all know what it is.
Don't do that.
What? What?
Don't hate on Trenton, Brooklyn.
That's right. That's right. Hey, yo, let me show y'all what's going on. My friend did a video. Show y'all what's going on in the dating world when it comes to voting.
Oh God, I'm scared.
I think I was gonna. Hold on.
What's up?
I just got an election text. I'm just ready for this to be over with, you know?
Yo, I feel you 100%. I mean, they are relentless.
Yeah.
They keep every day. Can I tell you something, to be honest?
What's up?
I don't even vote. I never really saw the point, you know what I'm saying? You know, I think we should be good.
We're not. You know what? You can call me when you're registered to vote.
Where you going?
To vote early.
Oh,
bro, you better go register. He tripping.
I might have had to go register.
Right, immediately.
Like,
immediately. Hold up, my bad. I take it back. Let's go to the polling place together.Hold up.
I was just joking around. I wanted to see if you voted. I was just testing
you.
Word. Now that I see you good, it, I'm all good. What?
That was a dude in BMF. He was the dude that played the little Atlanta gangster in BMF.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. What I was going to say was I thought I would like to see more of both of them. I thought that was I thought they.
I was well done propaganda.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I thought it was good. I mean, they clearly have some talent. But he's tripping.
No, he's a good actor. He's a really good actor.
Because it seemed like he stayed in the booth. It did not seem like he was getting up. Like I don't see, like he put up no effort, bro. My man.
That's the dating world right now. Do not mention politics, and you might be all right, fellas.
That's not what I
reality.
Took
I don't think it really.
Yeah, no, that's not what I took. I mean,
I took from it. You got to have your politics together.
I mean, go ahead, Doc.
I was just saying that.
I took it as he should. First of all, shut the fuck up and not be. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, nah.
And then he needs a quicker comeback because that's as good as he ever gonna get. He definitely needs to be like, yo, bro, I was just joking.
Immediately, he seemed like he was good with the result. Like that's like my guy. Fix that
right away.
Immediately.
She ain't got to see you go to the booth. What's wrong with you?
I will fix this.
So to me, like I felt like again, it was kind of like stereotyping black men that we don't participate. You know what I mean? Yes, there are some brothers who, for valid reasons, don't vote. I mean, but
I could have made that.
I mean, a lot of time. Huh?
That was Kamal back in
the day. I said I could have made that.
I mean, a lot of times, a lot of.
That was Kamal and Ed Get's first date, except it ended with Kamal saying, "No, I will fix this."
I think Kamal was voting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think Kamal was the one voting, and then Get wasn't.
I ain't got no game. So he would have
You vote? Oh no,
man, I'm ready for revolution. I ain't for vote.
Listen, Get said you already had a strike because you're light skinned, but now you vote.
That was true. There was a strike one. See?
Well, that's what it is. I guess we go ahead and take a quick break. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. And that's how it is outside, y'all. All right, we take a quick break and we'll come right back here to no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. All right, remix on the remix. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get to it.
Knowledge will begin until I finish this song, cause the rhyme gets rougher as the rhyme goes on. You swear to step about to get hype, but should you just listen to the man on the mic? You're physically and this will me, but hard to tell if it's meant to be hip hop if you're not mentally as well. Ready to absorb the rhyme that I just poured into the mic, so unite and this won't be so bored. If you just keep kicking, listen to the mix and think you'll sink into the rhyme like quicksand. Holes and controls you till I leave. You fall deeper in the style. It's hard to breathe. The only time I stop is when somebody drops and then bring them to the front, cause my rhyme's the oxygen. Then wave your hand when you're ready, I'll send you into your favorite dance, but let the rhyme continue. And so on, and I'ma go on simultaneously, even if I stop. The rhyme remains to be rising to the top, and I came to drop it, catch it and quiz it. It's my topic, you know, topic.
Woo! Let me take you back to a time. We're talking about 1987 off that Paid in Full album. We're talking about R&B and Rakim. The name of that song is As the Rhyme Goes On. Mixed with a little bit of 1994. We're talking about Shy with that Jay-Z remix, I Don't Want to Be Alone. Yo, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. Also go to the bottom of the screen, go check it out, blkliberationmedia.org. Yes, you can donate. And we will very much appreciate what you can do. Thank you. Now, let's get back to the crew. All right.
Like you know, think I didn't see the lame sneaking in the back door.
Oh. Why did I still got that up? There we go. Bam. Yeah,
And that's that Steve Miller Band sample, right? That's them, right? Time keeps on slipping.
Yeah, yep.
That joint was hard too, man.
Back to
Into
the
the future. That joint, yeah. All right. I like that. Well done.
Oh, ain't nothing like Rakim, man. His voice is is golden.
It's few people you could say ushered in a whole era of something, and now
With
that's
that flow.
Rakim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that flow is
God,
ridiculous.
God.
Wow, even Kamal's not hating.
No, it's Rakim, B. Never that.
Wow,
At one point, he was
okay.
like definitely the number one. Up until Biggie came along, he was definitely number one of all time. Y'all all right?
You just went past. You went past Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. Continue. No, go ahead.
But did you all know? I never knew until the last few years how deep the beef was between Rakim and Big Daddy Kane. That a lot of their tracks were them talking about each other, and I didn't know that until very recently. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
All right.
Shout out to
I think Rakim said everybody stole the style. Basically, he was mad at everybody for stealing the style.
I mean,
he was. I keep hearing all of his beefs and stuff like. And again,
where do you hear this in the street?
What's that supposed to mean? Like I can't hear about beefs? I can't hear about beefs. I read. I read papers. It's in the papers sometimes.
Now I know you.
He had a beef with Will Smith. Like what's that?
That's because in the summertime he thought he.
Yeah.
Will Smith told him he jacked his flow, so he's like, "Yeah, I jacked your flow on this song," and that's about it. But other than that, I'm like, "Come on, ain't nobody mad." Rakim know what he did. He was originator, and originators usually have people that want to copy. You remember when DOS Effects came out and everybody was trying to be like,
yeah, and that's
stickety. Yeah. So
that sucked. But it's not the same phenomenon. Rakim was a generational phenomenon. That was like a gimmick.
All right. Well, listen, before I
you're
get out
not
of
saying
here,
DOS Effects was a gimmick.
Oh,
DOS Effects compared to what Rakim contributed to hip hop.
Yeah, it was a gimmick.
It was a gimmick.
Yeah,
I don't.
It was a gimmick.
It was.
Nah.
I wouldn't
I
give
mean,
it.
it's a style.
Das
It was
had
a
lyrics.
style. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. They
but-
were nice. You can't.
It
Oh yeah,
a
no, it was
gimmick.
nice.
Yeah.
But I felt there was a comparison being made to like what Rakim brought to
I'm
hip
not
hop.
compa-
Oh
DOS
no,
brought to
no,
hip-hop.
no. All right, before I get out of here,
that style like lasted 2 years, and then nobody kept doing it.
But nobody but them should have been doing it. I just wanted them to have their little bit of respect. That's all.
Even fucking Ice Cube tried to do it or some shit. Didn't he?
he brought him on the track.
Yeah. And it sounded terrible. That was like we're not
Respect. What? That was the shit.
I was not
Come
one
on.
of the best tracks. Son.
Riggedy check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself.
That was.
It
I
wasn't
don't like that.
It wasn't stellar. It wasn't stellar. It wasn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the hip hop.
That's what I knew. That's what I knew. Ice
aficionado
Cube was on
over
his
here.
way out. That's when he was on his way out.
I still
Anyway.
think it's funny. My kids had to ask me that if Ice Cube was a rapper. They were like, they didn't know that. When I started playing some of his music one day, they were like, that's the dude from the movies. I was like, I tried to tell you. He was once an
Yeah.
important MC.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you.
All right, make sure y'all tune in Sundays. I'll be here at 8 p.m. again.
Hey, you
and,
leaving again?
I told you that already. And thanks y'all for tuning in yesterday to Classical Breakdown as we broke down.
Where are you going?
Patrice Russian, huh?
Where are you
Got shit
going?
to do.
Listen, I don't do full days on Fridays. So I don't know if you understood that.
I did not understand that. I wasn't in the contract. Like, I know you don't do full days on Fridays.
Y'all don't know how to stop at 10, so I don't do full
So
days.
you stop at 9?
Yeah.
Why would you stop at 10?
No. I
What
got
you
other
gonna
shit to
do?
do. Listen,
Like
man.
what?
Listen, y'all got me 4 days a week already. Come on. Stop playing.
Apparently it's 3.5.
Now it's so many. It's enough of y'all on screen where y'all don't need an extra break. Y'all know how to shut it down. Bam.
We don't know how to mix the records though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well.
Let me get some
AI. Jared mixes what he likes, so he.
I'm gonna get some AI DJ up in here. Just set it off. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, have a great show, y'all, and make sure y'all hit that like button and all the different buttons. Peace.
Thanks, Ear Doctor.
I wanted to bring up
Just
real
running
quick.
amok. Yeah.
To back up what Curtis was saying in the amount of so y'all remember David Duke back in the day, overt again, Klansman.
Literal Klansman.
So they talked about the other guy's victory over Duke, but it says Duke, who received almost unanimous support from black voters. Who had
black?
No, this is Edwards, his opponent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about it. His opponent received only almost unanimous support from black voters, who turned out and 80% of black registered voters voted in that election. But then it goes on to say Duke received, and I don't know why they only break it up into income levels, but all of it is majority for Duke. 56% of the white vote for family incomes under 15,000, the poor whites. 63% of those with incomes between 15,000 and 29,000, more poor whites. The 60% of the income between the 30,000 and 49,000. That's not even middle class, I don't think. They like to lie to you and say 30,000 is middle class, but that's not middle class. But that is the majority of how much money people make in the whole country. So 51% of white voters whose family incomes were between 50,000 and 74,000. And then 66% of the whites whose incomes were above this was a 75,000 above who voted for Edwards or whatever like that. But out of all of that, the majority of whites are going to be between the two lowest spheres or whatever like that. So he won the majority of the white vote.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a time when you can say black folks saved white people's democracy, because black folks did not want to catch hell under a Klansman. So
Trump is
once again, black people to the rescue. I mean,
but Trump, I found it interesting. He was talking about, he started getting into the race science, was talking about migrants have bad genes, which wasn't surprising because, Trump, he loves Hitler. He has affinity for Hitler, and he also has affinity for Henry Ford.
Allegedly.
Who actually started the eugenics movement. What? Trump, Henry Ford, allegedly?
No, allegedly is for the Hitler one. I just want to be careful.
So allegedly likes Henry Ford, the known, one of the founders of the eugenics movement that brought it over to Nazi Germany. So Trump is kind of, he's going full like white nationalist. His campaign, But I was like, man, he's going back to eugenics, not between, him saying, if I lose the election, it'll be because of the Jews. I'm like, Lord.
He'll say,
hey, that's a good default. I mean, it's a working default that gets people out of a lot of things. And if my atheist and debates channels are at all accurate, or reflective, there is a backward slide, even from where this country begins, in terms of its relationship to science, conspiracy, and so on. So it does fit for me in this sense that there would be, a sort of resurgence of that kind of thinking. Because there's so much, even with, I've even seen an interesting breakdown of these Weinstein brothers who go speak, who go on Rogan all the time and have this really interesting sideways white supremacist relationship to science, but they give some legitimacy to the lay person's condemnation of all science. Because their argument is we've been removed because we're asking the tough questions about the scientific cabal and we're mathematicians, or they have some sort of pedigree apparently in some of these sciences. And one of them was giving cover to Terrence Howard, interestingly enough, talking about backward slides intellectually. But my point is that they do seem to be making some room with Joe Rogan helping pave the way to create space for, so if Trump or whoever comes in and starts talking eugenics style stuff, people be like, yeah. And especially after the whole pandemic thing, I mean, everybody's ready for we've even debated it around here once or twice. A lot of people are ready for, I'm just condemning all of it. And everybody's been lying. So if even including the people who've been telling me black people are equal human beings, they lying too.
So there's I think Jared saw this clip, and I know Erica had it in a run sheet to talk about the hurricanes, but there's a clip where the Breakfast Club has been on. They had a call with somebody in Tampa, and they was kind of talking about both candidates. I'm gonna play that real quick if y'all didn't see it.
Tampa, man.
Tone from Tampa. What's up, brother? How was everything out there?
It's a little light rain right now, heavy wind, but I'm gonna just keep it a buck, man. This ain't where it's at, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say y'all right in the middle of it. The eyes hitting Tampa from what the map shows right now.
Man, bro, my heart, bro. I'm scared, man. And then we still recovering from Helene, and it's like, bro, I want to get this off my chest, bro. This government is playing in our faces, man. It don't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. They playing in our faces, bro. You get Ukrainians come over here, they get what they want. You get immigrants come over here, they get what they want. And you got people being denied these FEMA applications that you talking about the other day, Charlamagne. Mm-hmm. People being denied, bro. But you getting these migrants coming over here, $10,000 food stamps, bro. Fucking goddamn $5,000 cash stipends, man. This shit hurting, bro. We finna get ready to damn near die, bro. A lot of people couldn't afford to evacuate. And this government playing in our fucking face, man.
Damn.
I feel for you,
I totally understand, my brother.
Absolutely.
It don't matter what they is, Democrat, Republican, they all treason, man. They all about money, bro. None of these people care about American people, bro. This shit hurt, bro. This shit hurt, bro. People wake up every day just want to live their life, bro. And you got these fucking greedy snakes, man. You got these fucking greedy snakes call themselves government service people, bro. And they don't give a damn, bro. They don't give a damn about the migrants coming over here. They using them too, man. This shit ain't right, man.
You're absolutely right, my
Damn,
brother.
I can't wait to so much, man.
I mean, to hear what he said he can't wait till God come back. He's absolutely 100% right. Because at some point, I don't know who else can help a lot of people other than the Most High.
Well, we're praying for you, brother.
Thank y'all, man.
Try to stay as safe as possible,
yeah,
brother.
Man.
And if you're in Tampa, man, if you're in Tampa, listen, y'all. Town and Country, West Tampa, Apollo Beach, Gibson, Davis Island, St. Pete, Clearwater, man, y'all get out the way, man. Get out the way. Go north, man. I don't care if you got to go to a high school, elementary, whatever, man. Get out the way, please.
All right.
Y'all be blessed, man.
Yeah, do what you can to stay safe, brother. And you know, when it's all said and done, we're going to see what we can do to help relief down there, man.
Absolutely.
You don't edit nothing, Eddie. I want everybody. I mean, of course, you got to bleep the curse words, but I want people to hear exactly how people on the ground feel.
Yeah, that got me almost crying.
That's everyday working class people on the ground. You can't lie to them.
But that's how he
Okay?
feels, and
Y'all-
that's what people have been saying for the longest.
It
Like
just
they
sounds
feel
like he's
away.
preparing to possibly not make it.
That
through
man
this
don't want to
time.
hear about no statistics. He don't want to hear about no data. He don't want to hear about none of that.
No.
He is on the ground, 10 toes down, real life experience. That's what politicians don't want you to see. Those are the people politicians not talking to.
Those are the people that they need to talk to. And you see how he feels. He feels like, look, I live here, I work here, I pay my taxes here, and there is no help.
And he don't care about no Democrat. He don't care about no Republican. He don't care about no Trump. He don't care about no Vice President Kamala Harris. All he care about is surviving.
Him and his family.
Who's gonna help him survive?
That's right.
And as of now, nobody has.
Or vote for Kamala. And don't you dare talk to them Greens.
Wait for God. No, wait for God. You can't do anything now, but wait. I mean, what?
You're right.
Wow. So both Republicans and Democrats are against us. What could we possibly do? We could can't organize. No, why do that? Let's just wait for God to solve the problem.
But all the policies that that the Greens and even PSL was saying, oh, that's a wish list. That's a wish list. We don't want the wish list. You got to be realistic. And then when you be realistic, no, you got to wait for God for the wish list again. So.
And I wish data matters, and first of all, I wish the government was giving $10,000 checks to migrants, because I would be a fucking migrant tomorrow and go get my
hell
check.
yeah. I'd be calling.
Stop
I'd be
acting.
like,
Yeah, and niggas stop
all
acting.
the people.
If you thought the
over
government
here
was
get
giving 10 G's out, you also will be getting 10 G's. But it's a fucking lie. No one's getting no 10 G's a week or month or whatever. And more importantly, though, why is that what you're looking at? All the again, like as we've talked about, any sound analysis, billions and billions of dollars going to Israel to perpetrate a genocide. That's not your focus, but you've been hyped up on the propaganda that it's
Ukrainians,
it's the
immigrants,
the
Mexicans, the Afghanis, the immigrants. He sound honestly. I mean, the brother sound like one of them ADOS folks.
Yeah.
I
understand why he's mad.
And Americans, yeah.
I understand why he's
Yeah,
mad, but still, if you can be mad, but you got to correct that.
Yeah, he sound like one of them ADOS folks. They giving all this money to migrants, and FEMA's not giving money. I mean, of course, FEMA has not been given as much money as they should. But that's been one of the Trump talking points. Is that FEMA's just denying people money. I applied for FEMA because I got hit by the hurricane. I was denied because Fulton County wasn't declared as a disaster area. He sounded like one of ADOS folks, who just, maybe brings up some legitimate issues of the government not taking care of people, but then immediately turns it into like some type of like black replacement theory or white replacement theory and just a whole bunch of nonsense.
Now that Fulton County Wi-Fi is a disaster area, though. That's the problem.
See?
But to your point, like they're sitting in a studio, well paid, trying to play the affinity role with the lower class. You're supposed to use your privilege to give data, give analysis, demand resource, clarity. That's supposed to be the point. Yes, listen to him. Let him get all of it off his chest. Don't edit nothing. I'm with all of that. But at some point, you got to step in and be like, okay, we love and appreciate you, but the problem you're having is not the Ukrainians. It's not the whatever. It's all of this, and then go into it's the money going to Israel. It's the money going. It's the 800 people worth $6 trillion. It's all of that. $20 trillion GDP is going somewhere, motherfucker. Every year. Stop talking about.
The dude said he was scared and he was going to die and all this other stuff. And he said, well, when it's all said and done, we going to help out.
Right. When it's all said and done, if you make it, because then his colleague, what's her name, was saying he doesn't sound like he think he's going to make it.
Yeah. Like,
well, if he does, holler. And
we'll pay for the funeral. We'll pay for the funeral.
Now, what I'm also getting in this moment, this is good. I meant to bring this up earlier, but what I'm also getting in this moment, for those of us of a certain age, would be, I guess at this point, would be Katrina. Mm-hmm. My thing was, at the time, I was like, we supposed to be, like, that was supposed to have been it for my lifetime. That was supposed to have been it. Like, I vividly, I remember feeling like open rebellion should just be on the horizon at this point. Like, this is crazy. And then the reports were coming with which is of course irresponsible and illogical thinking. But it was the reports coming of the people being the black people being sniped by white vigilantes trying to cross bridges or get to safety. No,
that was true.
Oh, I know it was true. I mean, I'm saying the reports were coming out, and people were the response was still insufficient. And then in the aftermath, the suppressive element to get us right back into form, more or less, to flatten that out, erase all of that, disappear the people, all the reports. What was the congressman? What was the congressman that said Mother Nature has done, or God has done for us what public policy has not been we had not been able to do through public policy, and getting rid of these poor black folks out of New Orleans, so we could turn New Orleans into Disneyland of the South or something like that was the language being used. You know, it's like
I think Neil Bortz, who was Killer Mike's friend, said something like that.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
I mean, no, I'm just saying. I mean, they're friends. I mean,
the friends group.
You can go on Twitter and like he says, "Oh yeah, this is my friend Killer Mike," and yeah.
So yeah, I'm just saying. So so that's what I'm saying. And the analysis then, as now, should be: where is all this wealth that's produced? Where is all this government support that exists? Where is it? All of this? We just we're even after Top Gun 2 now, with all the latest fighter planes on display. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we got all this technology flying around, all this surveillance. Morgan State had 3,000 camera angles and drones flying around at homecoming. How the hell do we have not the capability in this society? But no, and yet we're still being we're as we heard in the call, brought back right into even using the we, that we're we. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's just bizarre.
And then the last thing for me then is baked into the cake of all those statements is, again, these hurricanes are part of a natural phenomenon, but the way the power of them at this particular stage are not, right? The power of them is because of climate change. It is because the taking apart of the marshes and all the things that naturally stop hurricanes from gaining strength when they come on land. All of this stuff for development has taken place, and those are so-called man-made, human-made issues and problems, which also can get resolved by the government, as opposed to spending billions and billions of dollars on wars in Ukraine and wars in Gaza or on Gaza. And so, yeah, I agree. Like, let the brother talk. Brother's feel it. He's in his pain. He's feeling it. But again, the analysis has to come out of, like, you blaming immigrants or migrants for this problem. I mean, you was on point when you were blaming both Republicans and Democrats. You could just stop there. Stop there. And who are they working for? Because they certainly ain't working for the migrants and shit like that. So,
the Ukrainian migrants.
Yeah, I mean, that's not, so help him draw the conclusion. If you come out with like he says, God is like, oh yeah, God. And you're not helping nothing. You're not so now you basically put out like his pain. He's put through his pain his ideas of like how migrants are responsible for the issue and so forth. So now this is what's going to go out to millions and millions and millions of your listeners and followers. And your best comeback analysis is, yeah, I think the only person that can help us now is God. Yeah.
And the by and by. Let's get it in the by and by.
Because these niggas they're not living in that. They're not living in Tampa. They're living in high rises, and they're not worried about. You know what I mean? God is a good solution for them.
God works for them. God is good.
Yeah,
all day.
He got me this money. He cleared up my face. You know what I mean? He got me. So, oh my bad. That was too much.
He's flooding you out, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other part. Like,
but I got me a dermatologist, so I'm good.
I don't,
This man is wilding.
Hey,
he was trying to get a bit lighter, man. Leave him alone, bro.
Man.
Let me stop. That wasn't happening. He needed to clear up his stuff on his face, and that's why he looks lighter. He tried to come out as. But go ahead, Jared. My bad.
No, hate on, my brother. This Friday morning. You know what I mean? Please do like, share, subscribe, everybody. Support the Patreon while you're here. Hit that. You definitely hit that like button, subscribe button, etc. BlackLiberationMedia.org. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody had something?
All right, so yeah, I wanted to bring up an article which I think finally is going to speak the truth about this election also. So I mean, I think this article hits it on the head. You know, where we could not go, this article has gone. So again, it's not just black men who are messing up this election.
Oh, that's
according
right.
to the New Republic, Jill Stein, the grifter, who may hand Trump the White House again. So if it's not black men, then the other issue is always the third party. And it says not only is she helping Trump win, she's destroying a once noble party that could be doing good in this country or whatever like that.
Which noble party?
Once noble party.
Which
noble
noble party?
She's talking about. The writer is talking about the Green Party.
Oh, the Green used to be noble. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Jill Stein.
Curtis don't like Jill Stein either, do you, Curtis? Don't you have?
No. I mean, she is a grifter, but we'll talk about that.
No, let's talk about it now.
I know, right? This is the perfect time to talk about it. Let me get through a couple of sidelines.
Yeah. Let's hear the white version of the grift, and then we'll let Curtis
do the black version of the grift.
Do the black version. We're ecumenical in our grift hate.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
So this is an editorial type article. It says Jill Stein doesn't give, as the old saying goes, a flying fuck about democracy. Instead, she's about how famous she can become and how much money she can grift off her repeated presidential campaigns. It's a dangerous game she's playing, basically. Fresh off her 2016 political quacksalvery, in which he handed that year's election to Donald Trump. Oh, he's blaming her for Donald Trump getting elected. This professional grifter who has been doing real damage to the Green Party for over a decade is trying to get Trump back into the White House. This says, as her Wisconsin campaign manager, Pete Carras, told Politico, we need to teach Democrats a lesson. Arguably, Democrats have learned that lesson. In 2016, Hillary Clinton lost Wisconsin to Trump by 22,000 votes, basically. Stein carried 31,000. In Michigan, the storyline was similar. Clinton lost Trump to 10,000 votes, while Stein carried 51,000. Good for her. Ditto for Pennsylvania. I didn't know she got this much votes. Stein carried 49,000. Had Clinton carried those three states, she would have become president. Then she should have won the fucking votes. Those slim margins can be a distant memory. However, given how hard Stein is pounding in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania Democrats against President Biden, unfortunate support of Israel's brutal bombing campaign in Gaza. I read that badly. It says those slim margins may be a distant memory. However, given how hard Stein is pounding on Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania Democrats against President Biden's unfortunate support of Israel's, President Biden's support, not Kamala Harris's equal support. Unfortunate support of Israel's brutal bombing campaign in Gaza. As Newsweek reported last week, and I'll stop after this or whatever, in Michigan, a battleground state where the Greens are campaigning hard and which have had a large Arab American community, 40% of Muslims voters backed Stein versus just 12% for Harris and 18% for Trump. Michigan has more than 200,000 Muslim voters and 300,000 with Middle East or North African ancestry. Biden won there in 2020 by 154,000, while Trump carries the state with a victory margin of just 10,700. So I'll stop there and find some other stuff around how far she's drifted.
So let's do this too. So I think the 401k punch it missed. It wasn't a good punch, and that was the defining moment of a grifter that I see online. So what do you mean by she's a grifter? I guess from Curtis's standpoint.
So back in 2016, I think she had this campaign where she was supposedly raising money to like recount the vote. And she raised all this money. I remember the exact details, but it was a campaign to, like, do a vote recount. She raised a whole bunch of money, and then it was discovered by the FEC, the FEC, that basically she didn't use the money for those ends, and she used the money to like pay off some of her colleagues. So when I say grifter, I'm actually referring to like something that she actually did and was found guilty of. But I mean now, and if you want me to elaborate further, I can.
So yeah, do you have the story, or like she paid off
the link?
Yeah,
the
maybe.
link. I mean, I could put it in the chat. Give me 1 second.
But that's your basis for her being. You're saying that she basically raised money and used it for her own purposes. You're not. Are you suggesting that she? Just to make sure I'm clear, are you suggesting that the mere fact that she's running and gaining popularity and or winning votes for the Green Party, and so therefore getting attention, money is coming into the campaign, is that also what makes her a grifter? Or you're saying this one circumstance where you feel like she raised money and then took that money or whatever? So I just want to make clear the basis of your.
So overall, I feel like she's a grifter for several reasons. Number one, so that's one of them. Number two, she says that she is like the anti-genocide candidate, or there's this whole narrative of don't vote for genocide. When if you go on her campaign website, she says she wants peace for Palestine and for Israel, which means that she's a Zionist. It's like she supports the existence of a Jewish state. She just wants the Jewish state to, I guess, be like a multiracial democracy that recognizes Palestinian humanity, whatever that means. So it's kind of like she's on like some liberal Zionism. So that's so when she says she's anti-genocide, I'm like, okay, well, if you support settler colonialism in Israel, then you're pro-genocide. Not only that, but she's taking support from Republicans, and she's been very open about that. So in a sense, she's playing spoiler. She does not actually, and I think there was a video came out from one of her allies, the socialist woman. She's Indian. That was, I think, the council person in Seattle. They admitted that they have no intention of winning. They just want to essentially, they essentially just want to punish Kamala. And again, I mean, a lot of people may feel that way because of her support for genocide, and I can respect that. Like, if that's their vantage point. But then when you kind of dig deeper and see all the support that she's getting from Republicans, you're like, okay, well, is this really like, is this kind of, the Republican strategy that she's implementing in exchange for getting their support? Because, she paid $100,000 to some, I think, consultant who was involved in the January 6th insurrection. She had a lawsuit for the Supreme Court where she used one of Trump's attorneys because she claimed, and I mean, I do agree with that, the Democrats pushed her using some games off of the Nevada ballot. I mean, and so, yeah, so essentially she's getting support, from Republicans. So, how can you be getting, how can you be anti-genocide when you're getting support from Republicans? You are an actual investor in Lockheed Martin. That came out in 2016 in open secrets. In this election this year, she's getting support from military contractors. So she's getting support from all these pro-genocide forces. Corporations are funding her campaign that literally supporting the genocide. But she's coming along and saying, oh, I'm an anti-genocide candidate, as if she's kind of like an ethical choice, in this election. So, I mean, she's capping. On top of that, she comes along and says, oh, what the Democrats are doing to me is like COINTELPRO, so she's making a false equivalency between COINTELPRO, which is actually Black folks getting assassinated, getting put in prison. Some Black folks are still in prison to this day.
Also,
actually interfering in her election. So, yeah, I mean, between her being a multimillionaire, a corporate stock investor, and all these genocidal corporations, I just feel like she's full of shit. That's what I mean by she's a grifter.
So I was trying to look for the thing on the Israel point, but I ain't really saw it because I hear I don't know. I hear like a lot, and some of it, yeah, I don't even know if I quite understand the whole argument, but yeah, I didn't see it on the site in terms of what you was talking about in terms of Israel, and because even when you say that,
I think it's
like what I heard you say, like she want peace in Palestine and Israel, and that makes her a Zionist, and I wasn't really clear on that part.
So, I mean, yeah, like on the actual, I think it's on the website, Jill Stein 24, something like Stop Genocide, something like that.
Yeah, that's the one I pull up. Pledge to Stop Genocide.
Okay, No, that's not that link. It's the link where it's like, I mean, I can find it, but it states that vote against genocide, don't support genocide. We want peace for Israel and for Palestine. So essentially, she's acknowledging that she wants Israel to exist. So like, for example, like on the Breakfast Club, Butch Ware said that she is an anti-Zionist Jew. She's not an anti-Zionist Jew. She actually, she supports the existence of a Jewish state. She may want that Jewish state to not genocide the Palestinians, which is, of course, none of us want that. But to say that, oh, you're anti-Zionist Jew, and for her to nod her head in agreement, that's a lie. She's not an anti-Zionist. She wants Israel to exist. She just wants, like a lot of liberals do, either a two-state solution or for Israel to be a multiracial democracy like America. America's not a democracy that recognizes the humanity of Palestinians, which ain't never going to happen. Just like America has never recognized the humanity of Native Americans nor Black folks. So, so again, like if you support the existence of a Jewish state and settler colonialism, you're pro-genocide. If you're investing in Lockheed Martin, she claims that, that's the system that I'm in. Well, what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a lot of I'm the more ethical choice, when the reality is there is no ethical choice that can be made in this electoral system. Policy-wise, she has great policies, but for her to be, don't vote for genocide, she supports genocide. Just
if I'm gonna make I'm so sorry. Finish it. Oh,
no, I'm done.
Oh no, I think there's a lot of truth. I think there's truth. Again, if someone is saying basically what you said, they said in terms of supporting either a two-state solution or Israel/Palestine, and I actually do agree with you in terms of being a soft Zionist. However, I think the other stuff. Yes, I think there's criticisms to be made, but do I think that she clearly has distinguished herself for the most part from the duopoly of the Democrats? And I'm not voting for nobody. Let me just be clear about that too. But do I think she's distinguished herself from the duopoly of the Democrats and Republicans? My clear answer would be yes. I think someone who presents, and I think one of the reasons why folks, they're fighting so hard to demonize her, they being mainstream media, them being corporate media, it's not because she's going to win, but because of the fear, again, for the Democrats in particular, that any third party challenge to their left, and I think she's definitely to the left of both Democrats and Republicans, they feel that gives you an opportunity to vote someplace else, as opposed to having to feel like you have to vote for the Democrats or not vote at all. So in that respect, I think the Green Party in general has given, whether or not they do it sufficiently, I have a lot of issues, which I feel like outside looking in again, which are not a clear understanding of what happens other than these presidential election cycles and how much on the ground work they're doing. That's some clear issues with that. But as a left alternative, or as an alternative to corporate dominated parties, I think the Green Party comes the closest to where I would tell people, in fact, I've started to tell people that if they want to disrupt the system and participate in electoral politics, that is the party that they should go to. And when I look at, I brought up the foreign policy positions, I couldn't find I couldn't find something at all on the position on Palestine. But when I look at something that says, establish a foreign policy based on diplomacy, international law, human rights, ending NATO, disband NATO, remove war powers from the president and restore it to Congress, end unilateral sanctions on individual nations, close Guantanamo, ban killer drones, end U.S. and interventionist policy, end sanctions on Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, so forth. These are not positions. Remove U.S. troops from Iraq and Syria. These are outside the mainstream left, hard left positions. And so again, close the vast majority, I would say close all, right, of the the 700 plus foreign U.S. military bases. So again, there may be criticisms to give towards her either individual acts or behaviors. And I don't think, these politicians will say things like, we have to, we're going to, that they're not like a protest vote or whatever like that. Well, of course, she's not going to win the White House. She doesn't have the resources, the infrastructure to do so. But do I think building a third party, even when they're going to lose and it costs the Democrats, is a worthy challenge? Hell to the yes. Because I think and I'll shut up after this, I think part of my positioning, which is, and I think we've discussed this here too, is that if the left is going to do anything in the electoral sphere, they must find a way to break away from the Democratic Party. They must see the Democrats go down in flames and have that be blamed on people like the Green Party or alternative positioning. So one, at the very least, that the Democrats have to come back and bargain. But at the most, you're building a third party apparatus that people can get excited about because they don't see it as part of the establishment system of Republicans and Democrats who dominate through corporate largesse. Now, she may get corporate resources again, but I do not think that is the largest way in which money is raised for the Green Party whatsoever. And if you can prove me wrong on that, I'm open to hearing and listening to it. So I think some of your critiques are valid, but I also think in terms of who the party is, what they represent vis-a-vis compared to the mainstream choices, I would not call her a grifter. I would not call the party a grifting party. I would call them a solid alternative to what we have that needs infrastructure, resources, political ideology, and they need to be better in terms of their political ideology and statements. So that's where I will leave it.
Yeah. So that the link that you gave in the chat, Curtis, that's the link that I actually had up while you were speaking, and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. But again, I think even as you say the investment, you're saying that she's investing in Lockheed Martin. She's investing in it, or is the 401k that's being like, what exactly are you saying there?
So like and I could essentially like her stock portfolio. Her stock portfolio includes investments in some of these companies that are engaging in the genocide in Gaza. And when she was caught, after this in 2016, she was like, oh, well, this is just a system, this is, capitalism or investing is a system that we have. Because and just to be clear, Kamal, I'm not saying the Green Party is a grifting party. I wouldn't say that. I do feel like the Green Party, I would question if they're like a serious alternative, because like when I look at the amount of like political power that the Green Party has, they only have, like out of like almost 500,000 elected offices in the country, they only have like 150. And to kind of tie back on that, when Jill Stein won the Breakfast Club, she lied twice on two different occasions. She lied and said the Green Party, in response to the AOC criticism, she said the Green Party had 1,500 elected officials, when 1,500 was the amount that the Green Party has elected, I think, since like 1980s. But right now, they don't have like 150. They don't have like any like state offices. So, for me, I'm like, okay, like is the, and I know people who have been a part of the Green Party, like radical organizers here in Georgia, and they're like, man, the Green Party ain't it, because, like they're not serious, but that's another conversation. But I just see Jill Stein do like a lot of, she's doing, she's capping a lot.
So I don't know that, again, similar to what Kamal was saying, I think it's difficult to isolate the grift from just being flawed politically. And I have a hard time judging people's intent. And I admit I haven't done the research, but I haven't seen evidence to suggest that she is knowingly lying so that she can get a bag and boost her profile. I don't get that.
That's a lot.
But it also is something I see as a feature that comes with everybody who does this. I've seen it. Those criticisms levied at Claudia, they were levied at me just running for the nomination. There's always they're just doing it for clout, which is always funny to me because I don't know, it's felt more like a punishment than clout chasing. But so that's one thing. And the other thing is and maybe this is my own flawed politics, but when I'm thinking of someone running for electoral politics, I do think there have to be certain adjustments. So I didn't see where she's, defending Israel's right to exist, and I didn't see any of that. But I could see if you're running for president and you're being asked a question about that region, saying what she said as you described it. I could see that being a logical, because then you're not going to get caught up and you're not going to want to get caught up in media games about the you were calling for the destruction of Israel and all that kind of stuff. You're just simply saying you want Palestinians to be able to exist with sovereignty and without genocide. But that again suggests to me an issue of the failings of politics more than grift necessarily. And then the same thing, and I don't know to what extent. Again, maybe this is a confession, but I am similarly invested in probably a bunch of whatever, just through the state of Maryland. It does happen automatically without. And I'm not even entirely sure to what extent I could do anything about that, other than I don't actually know what that would have to do about that. But the point is, someone could say, if they go through that account and whatever and say, oh, Jared's, supporting genocide and whatever else, when those are not my politics. So I just am, Now, I do remember there was some controversy some years ago, because I do remember talking to the late, great Bruce Dixon at some point about it. He had some issues with this himself around money and the party. And I honestly didn't know then. I have not paid attention to it. I honestly, so I don't know. What I do know, or what I do think I know, is that this time around, she didn't want to run. So the idea that she's intending to extend the grift now, this was Cornel West's doing more than anything that. And then I do understand that if you're within the party and the party says we need a candidate and you're the best person standing, even though you don't want to do it, you should do it. I could see why then she would come back and do it and suffer these criticisms. I could also see, by the way, in the heat of a Breakfast Club, I probably would have said that. Even if she was doing it consciously I would have said, I might have tried to, I don't know, put some tense on it, but we've had 1,500.
But I also,
150. So I don't mean to, so I don't get from her that this is some aggressive grift and lying in an attempt to corrupt an audience to get fraudulent support. Lastly, on the other point about the Republican, as long as people are donating under the rules of the party, I would take money from everybody. I don't see why it's not for the Green Party to be worried about, are we getting money from a group that is in opposition to the Democrats? We're in opposition to the Democrats. The goal is initially to get 5% of the electorate for our party. So if again, this is electoral politics. This is not parties. I mean, it's not political organizations. It's not cadres. It's at that level, trying to get people in here, trying to get this money. If it's got to come from people we don't like, that would be my general.
I do think, like,
I didn't hear that.
Oh, really quick. I'm saying the people who are giving the money, of course, are doing it for their own purposes.
Of course.
That's understood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Geechee.
No, but I do think, like, so obviously the word grifter, the word lying, these are all, like, I guess shock jock terms, but in your response to it, you could automatically be accused for defending the person, as opposed to, like, no, let's actually, well, what does she say? And then ultimately, like, if we're talking about getting Black people, African people to a position where they are politically clear on policies and political lines, I think that's the argument, as opposed to this person. And so, for instance, in that Breakfast Club interview, that was a very hostile territory. In fact, Butch was saying some wild shit that we just like, oh, I don't know about that, right? But, like, imagine answering the question what's the guy named Pierce Morgan, or whatever his name, Pierce Bronson, whoever the Pierce is. Like, the way he asks questions, he will trip you up in the way you're trying to answer the questions. And so there's a possibility that she could have misspoke, but if saying that she's lying, it would be like that's a lot, right? Also saying that she's a grifter, that's kind of a lot too. But I mean, focusing on the policy, focusing on the and even as you was, I'm telling you, even as you were saying that, I literally pull up that clip, and it was, I mean, not the clip, but the link, and I was looking through it and I just didn't see that. So saying that, oh, she's a Zionist, saying she's a Zionist, a grifter, and a liar, I mean, that's that's a
who
lot
you
that's
voting
coming.
for, Curtis? Who you voting for, Curtis?
PSL. He PSL.
Who you voting for,
He
Curtis?
writing himself in.
Not in Georgia. Not in Georgia.
Yeah,
He
you
gonna
can't
write-
vote for PSL. Yeah,
They
yeah,
got
like
knocked off,
they were
right?
disqualified. So, or they're on the ballot.
Yeah,
in Cornell, but they're not going to count. So,
Nothing
but
like
no, I
freedom
mean,
and
so no, I
democracy.
mean, Geechee, if you pull up that link again, like it's like the one. So I put up one link in the chat. That was a video that this sister did. That kind of whatever. I felt like it was on the Markham Mount Hill show, and then, but the link before that,
you want me to-
that was.
I'm gonna pull up the other one he was just talking about. Go ahead, finish though.
Yeah, no, in the link. So yeah, if you pull it up, then I can talk about it.
Trying to get there. Boom.
Okay, so it says pledge to stop genocide. If you scroll down. Okay, all right. It says point number 1: support peace, freedom, dignity, equality, and security for all people in Palestine and Israel.
Son, just you. I mean, what is she?
No, I'm
she's not a revolutionary. So you got to start there. She's not.
I'm saying
she's not,
okay. I mean,
she's not a revolutionary.
Yeah, but my point was that she okay, but I'm saying that she claims she's against. So from my vantage point, Zionism is genocide, and if you're supporting the existence of a Jewish state,
wait. So did she say peace for the Jewish state or peace? Because the people there, if she want peace for them, I don't know that means that she want a Jewish state, because it doesn't explicitly say
she want.
No,
peace,
it reads
yes.
to me
Says she
that
wants
she's
peace.
that part. It does read to me that because she's saying Palestine and Israel. So she's saying she's identifying Israel. I think it's acceptable to suggest that she's identifying it as a Jewish state, and she's just saying, and I get it. I'm just saying. I mean,
Zionist.
That's Gary Payton. That's a little Gary Payton-esque.
No, I'm saying, but again, but I'm saying I look at that, but then she goes on the Breakfast Club and Butch Ware, oh, she's an anti-Zionist Jew. I'm like, well, that's a lie. Like, she's not an anti-Zionist Jew. She may be a Jewish person for peace, but that's not an anti-Zionist Jew. You know what I'm saying? Like,
would you say, based on the policies you read from her and the Green Party, by a great margin, don't you think their policies are far more left by a great margin, and in essence doing us a good by calling out the Republicans and Democrats for their continued warmongering, imperialism, and so forth? Again, she's not a revolutionary, right? But don't you think that her parties are far enough left to even give you space to have arguments with other people who are Republicans or Democrats or who are like non-voters, those kind of people, that gives you the opportunity to say, well, you mean there are alternatives. They may not be perfect alternatives, of course, but far, far, far more left, far more on point in terms of which some of your probably personal politics are. When she talks about ending 780, bases, taking the sanctions off of Cuba, off of Nicaragua, off of Venezuela, or when she talks about ending NATO,
ending the apartheid, occupation and apartheid.
Those are things that, again, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you on the soft side, but those are things that you can work with. Or are you saying that you're just that hardcore that in terms of the voting, like you're not going to vote for any candidate unless we do it? I'm not even saying you're wrong there. Don't get me wrong on this one either. That unless we're building out our own party with our own politics, that's the way we should go, as opposed to even, the Jill Stein, whatever salvo of like, because I don't even think of her as a lesser of the three evils, let's say. I don't even I'm not putting her in that camp either. I think she's a solid left alternative. There are just reasons I could not vote for the white woman in the Green Party or whatever like that, because I probably do express more self-determination politics in terms of what we need. And I say that now, but there's a part of my own political thinking that's breaking down on that, because I really do think we need a big third party that is left of not only the two parties, but left of the Working Families Party, which people try to act like it's a party, but it's in adjacent to the whatever. So yeah.
So her policies, a lot of her policies are great. A lot of her policies are great.
You have some nuance here. Right?
There. No. Oh yeah, no. Her policies. I mean, I agree with a lot of her policies. From my vantage point, I'm more so just talking about her being problematic. And from my vantage point, I do not see the Green Party as it stands right now as a viable alternative. I don't think they want to be a viable alternative, or the strategy isn't working, whatever.
I wish I could argue more with that point, to be honest. I wish I could, but one of the main reasons that I ended up voting for Claudia was even as a member of the Greens, is because I don't see them as being serious enough about organizing the party. I mean, I am frustrated by that. I wouldn't say that. I don't know. I can't say that no one wants to or they don't want to. And there's a lot going on that prevents it, but it is frustrating. It is frustrating that there doesn't seem to be enough of an advance from one election to cycle to the next. But I don't know. I'm not. I'll just speak for myself here. I'm not mad at being out left by Curtis this morning, and maybe I'm just feeling my own. What is that dude that was calling me the liberal Zionist last week? But I do wonder. I do admit I struggle with how do I make at all practical what I really, really think, and I struggle with that. And so I don't know that she's not. I don't know that others are not. And I do tend to give room on that in a biased sense. So, but I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. She should have stopped at just Palestine. We want peace for Palestinians. Full stop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And would that have gotten the statement past your?
Yes, that, and then like I said, I mean. Yes.
And then the other question I have is like, so to what extent, like, because then it does make, I start going into my own, so to what extent when are we all, or are all those who still have taxes taken out, are those all who still consume in this country participating? And I'm being serious. I'm not trying to mess with that. Like, is that liberal Zionism? Do you have to be physically? I'm just
From again, I mean, like,
which would make the ear die.
We all invested.
Yeah, so
we all
like,
invested in it.
From my vantage point, like I mean, so again, I mean, I made several arguments, and I think, I don't know if I put the link about her, I don't know, but anyway. When the reality is that we live in a white supremacist genocidal society. So just like there is no ethical consumption, when you're there is no ethical politician. And from my vantage point, that's where I have like gotten the most annoyed with some of these third party candidates is because they're stating to people, they're trying to appeal to emotion and say, oh, don't vote for genocide. When I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, okay, if you support America, you support, if you support the idea of the nation state of America, you support genocide. If you support the Israelis, so, I mean, I mean, I just don't like that. I mean, you can make your argument that these parties are bad and that, you know, perhaps we shouldn't vote for them without stating, you know, trying to be on some I'm pure because I don't support the bombing of Gaza. You know, I just don't. I mean, that's a fraud to me. You know, so that's where, you know, because like there's so many, like Cornel West's, and he's a Zionist, and he's getting money from fucking Clarence Thomas's Nazi billionaire, whatever that fool's name was. Like, I'm like you're taking money from Republicans. Like, you know, your whole campaign has been like, basically Cornell was like a new Kanye West of the 2024 election. I mean, his whole campaign has been funded and supported by Republicans. The same thing with Jill Stein. She's taken all this support openly.
No. See, that those become my problems with your argument, is that one, you don't use the word allegedly, because you're gonna have to practice.
Okay, allegedly. Okay, my bad.
Two,
Allegedly.
Yeah. Two,
Allegedly,
no. When you're using when you're using the frame of all that, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think you can bring up any documentation that is supporting that line. It's one thing to say that, you know, whether it's Jill Stein or what's our man's name you just said, Cornell West. Cornell, that they're getting support from these different elements, and the reason they're getting support is because these elements are trying to get votes taken away from the Democrats, because it's part of their strategy. I totally accept that as an argument, but I do not think that you can show me any evidence. One, of course, that's a problematic word, but even a good portion or most of the resources that the Green Party is getting is not from people who are thinking that she's a legitimate candidate, who may not win, who's not going to win, but is expressing an alternative view that, again, I think is left enough for people to have discussion, debates, and say, no more of this mainstream duopoly of Republicans and Democrats and corporate shills. We have somebody here who's giving at least a line of like not just progressive, but on most of the policies, left politics. Doesn't mean I agree with all of it, because I completely agree with you on the idea of, like, you know, if you're standing for Palestine, what you're saying is from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And what you mean by that is that that's all Palestinian land, and Palestinians should govern it. And if other folks want to live there and the Palestinians allow it, then so be it. But they weren't invited. And if they are asked to leave in various ways, then they should be out. And that is my firm position. Now, I don't necessarily say that anybody who doesn't have that position is a traitor and or whatever, but it means we definitely have different positions depending on how far they go to the right of that. But you can't say all the time, and you cannot. You got to use. We're gonna have to do some media training for the alleged.
But no, I'm also
Cornel
West claimed that he rejected her Harlan Crow money, or gave it back. By the way,
I don't know.
But yeah, go ahead. I don't remember.
But no, I'm curious how, again, because now nobody's really talking. We're not talking about policy. We're talking about a person. And then, but so I agree with the policy of the party, but not the person. But I'm wondering, how do you feel we'll get from voting fetishism to exactly what? Like what's the objective? Because right now people are engaged very stupidly in electoral politics. So to go from there to where would you like to see us go?
Like as far as electoral politics, like electorally speaking.
Yeah, I guess, and also not to end, but in result to our changing our material conditions. So the arena is electoral politics here, because you're talking about every politician doesn't pass the purity test, which is another conversation. But you got voting fetishism that's happening right now. People playing around, acting like they got political power. Front people for Democratic Party. Then we're trying to get to a thing. What is that thing we're trying to get to, and how do you think we can get there?
So are we talking about like getting like to revolution, or we're just like, or more political power?
Let's start with. I mean, I don't think you need to give your old treatise on revolution. And time. I hope shorten the question. What do you think is the direction electorally in terms like we should be going towards, whether or not it's third parties or not voting at all and whatever? So what's your opinion on that?
So from my position, things changed, for black people when we engage in radical organizing. And I don't want to get, when we engage in radical organizing, radical organizing for Black people in particular, and I think the Black History of the White House talks about this. Like, the White House would never listen to what we were trying to do unless, we came at them with some sort of strength. We came with them as an organized movement, to demand, our humanity. On top of that, I do feel as though that Black people should make strategic alliances, with other countries. That's something that Gerald Horne recommends. So, so for me, because the electoral system is going to be so corrupted by money for the most part, there's not a lot of hope in getting, what we want from that system. I believe that it's going to take radical organization. And then from there, we can start getting what we want. But from my vantage point, I feel like sometimes what happens is that like it becomes a situation, oh well, just vote for this person, just vote for this party, when that's not going to get us to where we want to be.
Right on. We can definitely continue this obviously over the next couple of weeks and beyond, but by the way, I don't hear that argument in the PSL stump approach. Then it's not vote for me, that's the solution in and of itself, and is very much an effort connected to building more Party for Socialism and Liberation organization, but at least there's that there. And in the green approach, that should be part of the argument. So, but all right, that said, come back tomorrow, everybody, unless folks want to keep going. I don't know if folks got, but if we're wrapping up, come back tomorrow for Saturdays with Renee, where we're going to be continuing. We got a Green Party candidate coming from New Jersey, coming on to talk with us about organizing with the party and not,
Now that's good propaganda. I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. Is
that I like, yeah.
Jared get nice with them little edits, man. I'm telling you, man.
No,
and we didn't get to talk about coats. Damn.
I mean, technically, I have time. I can't front.
I got a meeting I'm already late to.
So
we got to save.
Let's.
Or if you're going to talk about it on some other platform, I might join you.
No, we should. Well, no, we were going to. Here, Mtume's coming in a week after this show next week. Mtume is going to be on here. I think we're doing it here. Why not? We're doing it here, and it's going to be about coats. But we could also do it Ta-Nehisi, and like that's going to be the point of departure because he's got his own stories and a set of articles he wants us to read.
Did something else happen after that interview or something, or still an interview?
No. I think yeah. So you all can either join us for that, and or we can do something separate for Patreon to get, sooner if you wanted to do something sooner about what you wanted us to talk about, or and then please, if you do, resend it to me or us so we can get on the same page. But, I'm up for all of it. And I think there's plenty to be said. So if there's multiple discussions centering Coates and he's doing his media tour, he's going to be saying more himself. We should all, but other than that, what else does anybody want us to?
I mean, it sounds like with the Curtis conversation, we might have to get into some Lennon and August Nimps about this radical organizing, and it sounds like how that is divorced from electoral politics.
We should just have Professor Nimps come back too.
That would be a good idea.
That out too.
That would be a really good idea. But yeah.
Cool. That's really good. Except for your bad internet, you would use sparkling, my man, Curtis. Sparkling. Good debate and discussion. Sparkling. We might have to give you a camera too, I think. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, we got to do. We work on the aesthetics. Yeah, Coach was just on Trevor Noah's podcast. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do that one.
This article I got. Internet was.
Yeah,
flaky.
you've been freezing a lot.
Yeah. It didn't help your argument.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was some inside article about the staffers at CBS and their pushback against how the Coates interview was done and people who leaked information, as well as information about how the hierarchy, obviously maybe some separate pages, but also how some of them were fighting back, obviously, to further push the Zionist narrative, which is why that report that dude is there in the first, because the Zionist narrative is the standard narrative. This is the accepted narrative. There's no ifs, ands, or buts that should be what's on display as a pushback against anybody or whatever like that. So I find it interesting that even the staffers, and some of this probably because they were black staffers, I'm assuming, I'm not sure, but I think because of Coates's liberal establishment, they probably not that much black staff.
Not Gail. Gail ain't doing shit.
But not the on-air staff. And I'm probably wrong, but I think because of Coates' liberal bona fides, and the fact that my man used the outrageous statement around strip away your awards, and this is basically, I can see this in a backpack of an extremist kind of thing. Like
yeah.
I think that one.
Who wants to destroy Israel? People who want to destroy Israel will find a lot of support in your book or what I'm saying. Well, look, one of my closest homeboys, and I was mad about it, sent me the Democracy Now! Transcript where Coates was on recently, and and apparently did a great job. And his point was that Coates has, I forgot his phrase, but was basically cutting himself off from his support network by taking this stance. And I wonder to what extent that's true, but it may very well be.
I do think there's truth in that. I think again he's trying to play it carefully, but I think it's hard on the Palestine issue. It is such a central issue in what the U.S. is today that the protectors of the empire, and that is the vast majority of media, obviously all two-party system players, sees it as such an integral part that it's the room for parsing for them is almost non-existent. So again, I give him credit for the attempt for his attempt at rational discussion with these ideological crazy folks or whatever. But I think that's the attempt to doing. And again, I think Mark Lamont Hill has suffered a particular fate. Not that, not that my man is broke, he ain't living on the street, but he's basically been banned from certain mainstream jobs now. And I think some of this will happen to Coates. He will be, not as well received in liberal circles. I don't think it's the end of his career, because I think he's again trying to walk a careful line. He's not like Curtis saying, them
books gonna sell. Them books gonna sell, and I'm surprised Curtis might not call Coates a grifter.
Oh, I'm sure I think Curtis. We're on the same line on.
Because
again, it's compliments I give Coates.
Yeah,
but I think the careful walking is for a purpose. I think you have to give some nuance there. Yeah. But he's definitely not throwing all his chips in and saying free Palestine from the river to the sea. Like, you know what I mean? He's not doing that.
He's getting
but again, from his point from where he's at, he is definitely attempting to create space for more conversations. I hate Palestinian humanity, apartheid. He's doing the liberal thing. So, but again, that's a balancing act, because these motherfuckers are rabid Israeli supporters. And even that may be too far a step before they turn him out into the streets to be self-publishing his own books and shit like that.
Not self-publishing. Good Lord. Good Lord. No
more advances. No more advances.
The steep drop Self-publishing, not.
Let's see where
Well,
that next book deal comes from.
Well, I just bought the book. So if anybody is anybody going to read the message, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read
I'll
at
read
least
it.
some
I
of it.
haven't got it yet, but I'll get it today.
I just got the Kindle, so I'll start.
I tried to read the last one. I told you about the letter to his son.
No, I
Between
did
the world and
too.
me. Between the world and me.
I did too, and
Everybody read that now.
I did
I
not
didn't.
read.
I read like a chunk, but it just no,
I
and
couldn't
it
get
was
to it.
no, it was reminiscent of the thing that he was saying about Obama and Malcolm. Like I can't. But
I thought it was
I
good.
mean,
There was.
You said
no,
it was what?
that was good. But Jill Stein
No,
is
no,
a
no, 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 no,
grifter
no, hold
and
on,
a traitor and a Zionist.
No.
Curtis.
No, hold on. Let me clarify. No, I mean,
Politics have evolved.
there was a part. Yeah, no. There was a part in the book where I think I'm not sure if it was Between the World and Me or Letters to My Son. He was talking about PG County Police.
Yeah.
But he had already done that. He did that as a Howard.
That was
he
Howard.
did that as
Between
an
the world
old
and me.
school Howard University law. Everybody does that. My friend was killed. The
What's his
police
name
were
again?
terrible.
What's the friend? The
Prince.
friend.
I thought the brother's name was Prince.
Prince. Yeah, his name was
and
Prince.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean to make. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
It was a horrible situation, and his friend was killed.
Prince,
so I don't. Let me step back from that. But it was not some radical. It was much like his reparations thing to me. It's not some radical intervention into the history of police violence. It's not, or the history of reparations, and that's why I'm a little concerned that this is not going to be, despite his appearances on TV, that this might not be the radical intervention into the Middle East politics that we all are looking for. But yeah. So I mean, there's that. It's a look. These cats are talented. These dudes know how to write,
especially in Baltimore. Especially in Baltimore, because D. Watkins and they get into some spaces, so they're talented.
No, I mean
that's another one. These cats are talented, man, and the politics are they're not
good. They're really good. Devin Allen, D. Watkins.
Yeah, 1619.
Kwandani.
That's what it is. It gives that
Aaron
energy.
Mabin. There's some.
I don't know that one. I don't know.
He's the one who left the NFL to be an art activist.
Oh man. Yeah.
Listen, Baltimore got a special little crew over there. You know.
I mean, it's talent. It's not that people are not talented. It's not that they're dumb. It's a
in fact, it's because they are smart.
That's the problem.
This stuff, yeah.
I wish they were stupid and couldn't write. It would just be so much easier.
And again, part of the empire is that this liberal edge of this liberal base of it. That's like the answer is within the system, if not fixing, but by bringing down the temperature on some of these overt problems. So they can say we don't want police brutality, or we don't want people to be obviously bad apples weeded out. We want the system to work well, and for people who come and argue that how the system is killing us as a people, and if only it was fixed, that argument can play well, particularly from a Black person who is a fantastic writer, or who can lay out an argument and the rest of it. So yes, that person is going to be brought in to be the leading edge of what's acceptable in terms of the conversation. But again, the moment they step one line over that and go like, the system isn't broken, it's working the way it's intended to work. It's supposed to be oppressive. It's supposed to be killing Palestinians. And so it's doing everything that it was built to do. And so therefore the answer is to fight that system, is to remove that system. That's when, it's clearly over the line. So again, I just think on the Palestinian issue, that's a red line for these crackers. You know what I mean? So they are like, what are you saying? What are you trying to say? And if they think he's taking that step too far, whether, again, it's a balancing act, and he's trying to walk it, and whether or not he's going to fall off the beam is a question. But he's trying to continue to get his $1 million checks and from all the industry sources in which he receives money for his writing and all the different things that he does and his appearances. while at the same time doing something that he justly feels on a principle basis. I'm sure he's certainly not doing this to make money. You know what I mean? So that, I mean, we can be clear on that. This is not a way in which you increase your revenue sources by defending the human rights of Palestinians and talking about apartheid and Israel being an apartheid system. So there's no way he's doing this out of anything other than his own particular principles about it. The question becomes, because he is invested, I saw that face, because he's invested in the system, how far will we go? Kurt, I mean, so are you suggesting that somehow there's a benefit to him for talking about this stuff? A personal benefit to talking about Palestine?
I do believe there's a benefit.
What is his benefit? What is his material? But what is his material benefit from calling Israel an apartheid state and saying that the apartheid state should be an ethnocentric state or whatever, should be abolished or whatever in that way? What material benefit does he get out of this system for approaching it like that, as opposed to a Van Jones approach, which is fuck y'all, pro-Israel. At best, you may get a ceasefire statement out of me, but other than that, these poor Europeans who came over and stole the land are now being attacked. Oh my God, what a terrible scenario we're having here.
Yeah, so like he was on CBS because he originally had an interview before the controversial one. He had an interview where he was talking with this Black reporter who went to Howard, and they were promoting the book. So from my vantage point, like the fact that the book, and this is like a major, he's been getting rave reviews from New York Times.
Man, he's selling
a lot of these white outlets are praising the book. And then when he went on, the recent CBS interview, the white boy, was being white and whatever. And I feel like gave him some pushback because he was a Black person kind of comparing, American apartheid to Israeli apartheid. But then I think Sharon Redstone recently said like, that violated our ethical standards. So the fact that like, because, rarely do Black people come on air and criticize Palestine, and get any type of grace. They just immediately get fired. So, from my vantage point, Coates, he's talking about Palestine, but he's talking about it in a way that appeases to white liberals. He mentions, a lot of the issues with Israel started in 1967. I think he said that in his Democracy Now! Interview. And that, the issue with Israel is the fact that, there's a tiered society. Which to me is like, from my vantage point, like I've heard about Israeli apartheid since like the early 2000s. So him
you're describing what you consider to be his politics right now. I'm asking you, based on his politics and him going out and even talking about this, what do you see as his material gain, as opposed to, again, being more moderate? It's not necessarily taking what would be considered in mainstream media a moderate approach to Palestine. He's taking he's not all the way radical revolutionary, but he's taking a far more left view. What do you see as the benefit that he is receiving by doing that?
You just bought his book. Aren't you going to buy the book?
Me?
No, come out.
I bought it. I just bought it.
So that's two sales from the left, and he's left adjacent. He's going to be you're talking about him right now. Like
I can see the value. The one big role. One potentially lucrative role that this would lead. It could be potentially lucrative to play the role of being the symbolically left critic who safely brings the criticism back to white liberal standards. That could absolutely, and if it is in fact getting a New York Times praise, I'm my flag's already going all the way up. But right. The first word of the book is comrades.
To come out, like his material benefit is him getting that big ass book deal that's getting promoted.
Yo, he's gonna get like and listen. The Mark Lamont Hills, the Angela Rye shows, and like the Breakfast Club. Like he's gonna be spinning on this for a minute, and those are gonna be book sales. So
I mean, because for example,
But
like
there's a
Malcolm Hill's
safer
book,
way
The
for him to
Palestine
get book
Exception.
sales. There's a safer way for him to get book sales. And people, I
Well,
think people are bringing
no,
up.
no, I'm not talking about the
people are bringing
safe
up
way.
Yeah.
To be able to reach left, like we buying his book, like y'all bought his books, and more people they're gonna read it. So the safest space to be on both sides, be in the middle, and not really get all the way thrown away from them, but also get the air of some people on the left. So I think, I mean, I don't know.
And the fact that he is black, and I think he referenced, like, so he mentioned, I think in Democracy Now, that the reason why he broached this topic, it took him 10 years, was because he mentioned something about reparations, and then he mentioned something about like what reparations would look like would be the state of Israel. And he mentioned that he got a lot of pushback for that. And then he traveled to the occupied territories with the Palestinian group to learn more, and he was horrified at what he saw, so from my vantage point, the fact that, he kind of did like maybe somewhat of a 360 and became somewhat controversial, then got this big ass book deal that's been featured twice on CBS. Like I said, he was featured, I think like maybe like a Saturday before the interview came out, where he was like attacked in studio, where they were talking about the book. And the book, like I said, it's been in all the white liberal sectors, even in New York Times has been praising the book. So the fact that he's like trying to have a conversation about Palestine, that conversation is going to lead to money in his pocket. Otherwise, that publisher wouldn't have published this book. And they sure as hell haven't amplified, Malcolm Hill's book, The Palestine Exception, which to me, from my vantage point, is far more radical and like more researched, because Malcolm Hill has been studying this issue for several years. Like one of the guys said, like, you went to Palestine for 10 days and now like you're calling Israel, talking about
that's hype
Israeli
anyway.
apartheid.
Coates has known about, again, Coates' family history, the legacy. He knows what Israel had. I mean, to me, Coates already knows all that stuff. That's some propaganda for the public. I just found out. I never knew. It took a visit. That's this bullshit. Like, there's no way that Coates, in terms of his family history, his legacy, what he's read, what he's been around, did not know and does not know the full extent of what America is. So I think Coates has made some very clear choices about walking a fine line. And I agree. I think he's walking a fine line in terms of being that liberal voice to bring honesty to the American debate on democracy, reparations, policing. I do think that is his role. I do think he's filling that role.
And this is
I only think that the Palestinian issue is a red line, because the Palestinian issue is such a centerpiece of American hegemony in terms of what Israel represents. And that to go past that line, whether he thinks he's going past, whether he thinks he's walking it carefully or not, I do think that when you see, the owner of CBS, the owner of media, one of the owners of media, and there's others who are pushing back against even the critique that their reporter got. And when you see a lot of the articles about Coates pushing back tremendously, not only about the book, but defending this reporter or whatever like that. And again, there's a lot of, people don't like to say this, but there's a lot of Zionists in media, or they're Zionist supporters. So I think it's a dangerous game. And so my only pushback is I don't know. Based on what you guys have been saying, I don't know if I disagree a lot with what you're saying in terms of this is a comfortable position. I think I even see in the chat that people are saying like he's positioning himself as sort of a Baldwin-esque figure without being Baldwin. But even Baldwin suffered. Baldwin actually suffered.
Baldwin-esque. Baldwin-esque.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's pushed it enough. Yeah.
But there's a lane too. So I don't know. We joked about it when Malefe Asante came on and he wanted to replace Ibram Kendi and those people. There's a lane for that right now and there where Coates will be getting that type of money. Coates will be in that type of arena where he will be as radical as those people can get. And I think that's what he's doing right now. And the interviews are not going to stop, be it the book or be it how he interacted with that white boy on the camera. And
Well,
that's going to sell books too.
I will say this. Obviously, this is not well researched, but just sort of skimming along here, I'm already at chapter 4. He has not said a word yet about Palestinians. So
yeah, I don't think the whole book is about Palestinians. I think it's like.
But I'm like, is any of the book about Palestinians?
Most of the book, it supposedly. Allegedly,
all right.
I thought it was like
allegedly.
Are these broken down into essays, or is this a coherent?
Yeah, it's several. It's
Yeah.
well,
I think it's
chapters or essays.
I think
and
it's a
so
particular
far,
essay that's getting
because so far it's been just about him returning to Howard, the books he's written.
Go ahead and pirate
how
that
he got
PDF
his
for me.
name.
Pirate
No,
that PDF
I
for
bought the
me.
Kindle. We don't do
I know,
pirates on Black Liberation Media. We
pirate
don't
that
bootleg.
PDF for me.
No,
I'm about to
we
buy
pay
that.
for everything. We pay our taxes.
Hey, you better go to the
We
library.
vote for Democrats. What's wrong with you? Y'all are tripping. This has been a crazy morning. I don't know what's going on.
Screenshot that chapter for me, brother.
Hey, y'all see that? Y'all see that link in the
chapter is
chat?
getting all the attention. Nobody gives a damn about anything else he said in that book. It is that one
Exactly.
chapter that he's being called out on, right? So even
Yeah,
in
I
his
see the
attempt
link.
to
I just
bury
can't
it-
open it because I don't have a subscription to the Washington Post. Sorry, or the
So
New York
even his
Times.
attempt to try to bury, I want to see the Washington. Let me show me the New York Times review, particularly of the not the rest of the book of the Palestinian.
I have to go through Morgan State to get those
Well,
papers.
I put a link for Washington Post. I might have.
I don't have a subscription to that either. I can't open that one either.
Wait, I got one on. What's this?
But
No,
I don't
this
know
might be
what
something else.
we break no rules
and
around
supposedly,
here.
supposedly from again allegedly from the CBS interview, like most of
That's
the book is
better,
not
that's
about Africa. It's not about Africa. It's not about going to South Carolina. It's like I think the largest essay is about Palestine.
Okay, so chapter 4, The Gigantic Dream, opens with a quote from Nora Ericott. So I think we're about to get started here. So I'll stop my perusing and read for serious after the show. But I was like, wow. All right.
So I don't know what
this.
this.
Wait, look at this compliment. Somebody said it's Curtis. He radicalized the show. God
Damn.
damn. God damn.
Hey,
Damn.
I mean, with all due respect, I've learned a lot from Kamal.
Curtis, don't do that,
Don't
man.
do that.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
I would
Nah,
not
don't
do that for you.
Just,
I would not do
nah,
that for
hell
you.
no. Neither one of us would do that for you. So just
okay.
revel,
Well,
enjoy the
thank you
moment.
for the compliment.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Revel,
Thank
enjoy
you.
Bust out on it. Be
Take
like,
that.
of course I did.
Thank you.
Of course
Exactly.
I did.
That said,
Of course I-
Coates gives space for voices of Nakba, those are Palestinians who were displaced. He's creating space for the people to talk. He ain't gonna talk about it.
You got that Washington Post link?
No, I can.
Oh, you
try
got
to
to pay
pull
for
it up.
that, B. It's not free.
I ain't got that
I mean, it's just like you could just look
Not
at the
so
headline.
radical departure. What? Who is this? What
Deborah
what
Baker.
paper? What paper
I don't
is
know what
this?
this FP. I don't know.
Foreign
What
I
this.
think it's like foreign policy.
Foreign
policy.
Foreign policy.
Foreign policy said you're not radical. Who's
Who wrote it?
Y'all.
who wrote that? Who
Deborah.
how
Deborah.
are
Hold
they
on. Deborah Baker, American writer.
Not so radical departure. You must. It must be. There must be something differently said in the. That must be just. Curtis Diallo, like, oh damn. Yeah.
They give it to you and they take it away.
Take it away.
That's
You
that.
gotta be.
Damn.
That's the chat.
Damn.
That's why you gotta either. You gotta be careful. The chat will turn on you quickly.
They're never your friend for long.
They're
Don't
never your-
don't
yeah,
get
exactly.
confused. Don't get confused.
But yeah, no, the Washington Post, it's a link. It just says why you need to read Coates' new book, The Message. I mean, it was an article came out, I think, on October 3rd, 2024. And it was an opinion article.
In the Washington Post.
He's getting lots of praise for the book.
Well, that's somebody's opinion. Is it the review of the book or is it an editorial? I mean, he's got friends. Don't get us wrong.
I mean, it's an opinion that showed up in the Washington Post, though.
Yeah,
he
but
got
if it's
friends
an
at the Washington
editorial
Post too.
I mean, it could be in the New York Times. You can expect. So there, you can expect what's his name, Charles Blow, to probably say something positive. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be liberal opinion writers who are going to say something positive about it. The question is, does the folks who have control over the purse strings Does some of that begin to dry up? So I think that let's see what happens with the next book. Is it self-published?
Yeah,
Is it brought like is it Pluto that's putting out the next book? Who's putting out the next book?
So,
Or
but
is
to
it
be fair,
HarperCollins?
the Washington Post does have a story from the 5th that says Ta-Nehisi Coates writes about the stories that fuel bigotry. So I don't know if all of the Washington Post, I don't know if that could go with, I don't know, but that could be a critique of the book. But
and maybe he also thinks that he's established his bona fides where nobody can knock him down, unless there's like some scandal or something.
I mean, he got some chops.
I do think so. I mean, I think that from my vantage point, sometimes it's like controversy sells, So I do think, yes, he is going to, will he be invited to speak at the Yale convocation? No, because he's anti-Semitic, whatever. But I do think that, because he frames issue as Israeli apartheid, and because, he talks about October 7th atrocities. He recently said that on Democracy Now! He's kind of,
course.
I mean, he's.
Well, that's just what I'm
I'm
not disagreeing with that. I'm saying he's doing a balancing act, but I think it's a dangerous balancing act because of the importance of the Israeli project to the American empire. And so I think therefore can be consequences. And I think there's and I think he's doing it out of his own sense of principle. So I will give him credit for that, because I don't think it's a money game. I think there's other ways for him at this particular stage to garner attention and the rest of it. So again, I'm not suggesting that he's giving a revolutionary analysis of Palestine. In fact, I'm sure he is not. But I think he probably feels in his own way he is pushing an envelope. And I think it is a dangerous envelope because of the positioning of what Israel means to the American empire. And I think that's my main thing about him or whatever.
I got you.
Oh wait, so his trip to South Carolina is in his book too? No, I gotta get the book.
Oh God, you mean you got to rip off the book? You got to rip.
He went to Columbia.
No, I gotta get the book now.
He didn't even make it to Charleston.
That's why I know the history ain't real.
No, yeah, because I think he went when they were like debating on whether to ban his book in the South Carolina legislature.
Oh,
yeah, he was talking about how South Carolina.
I might have to find how old that book is. I might have to find it on my little website. When it came out last week.
That book from the library.
All right,
okay, so the book comprises 3 separate journeys: Senegal, South Carolina, and Israel. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna write no whole book. Yeah, he ain't
Yeah,
there.
all right. All right, good people. Please do like, share, subscribe. Patreon, blackliberationmedia.org for more. Thanks to everybody who was here live, to those who will see this later. Thanks to you as well. Peace only if you're willing to fight for it. Fred Hampton used to say, see you next week. More remix and more throughout the platform. Saturdays, tomorrow, Sundays with Ear Doctor and all that stuff. Peace, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Peace, yeah.